Namaste everyone. Welcome to the Cārvāka podcast. This is your host Kushalmehra. So many of you will read the description of this podcast and think that this was going to be a monologue. Well, it was, but then I reached out to Tushar and I asked him that would he like to join me, and Tushar agreed. So first of all, before we start our discussion, I hereby self-declare myself as a candidate for Bharat Ratna and Hilale Pakistan both, बिकॉज मैंने 3 स्पीच सुनी राहुल गांधी की पूरी स्टार्ट से लेकर एंड तक. तो मतलब मैं और तुषार व्हाट्सएप पे बात कर रहे थे. तुषार बोलता है तूने कौन सी वाली सुनी? मैंने तीनों सुनी. तुषार का इमोजी था. मैंने तीनों
It should have been
विद
ऐसे
द
वाले इमोजी
क्वेश्चन एंड
भेजना
आंसर.
चाहिए था.
अरे यार, मतलब यार, मैं देखो फुल डिस्क्लोजर, मैं ना मोदी को सुनता हूँ ना राहुल गांधी को सुनता हूँ. मैं बंद कर दिया है पॉलिटिशियंस को सुनना, बिकॉज बियॉन्ड द पॉइंट मतलब रेपिटेशंस होती हैं. मगर यार ये आदमी मतलब मोदी की जो है ना रेपुटेशन एस्पिरेशनल रेपुटेशन होती है. इस आदमी की जो रेपुटेशन होती है ना राहुल गांधी की, मतलब मुझे कई बार आई फील लाइक यार मैंने व्हाट डिड आई डू टू डिजर्व दिस एज एन इंडियन.
No, it's very. I mean, I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to sound over dramatic, but it takes a special kind of mental stamina to go through what he says.
Dude,
Even
seriously.
something he says with the most marvelous thing is he says it all with a straight face. He actually means it. Conviction देखो आदमी का. ठीक है, उसको कुछ नहीं पता कि उसकी पार्टी का स्टांस क्या है. उसको नहीं पता उसका खुद का स्टांस क्या है. The people he was talking to, nothing at all. He'll just blabber whatever comes to his mind.
It's just it's insane. There has to be a level to insanity. So I know, just to give, we will get to the specific points, but you know, when I heard all the 3 speeches, and I don't know if I know तूने एक पूरी सुनी है, वो भी बहुत बड़ा टॉर्चर है अपने में. 2 सुनी तूने? आज शाबाश, मेरे को मालूम है. जब मैंने तुझे बोला 3 सुनी है, तूने बोला कम से कम 2 सुन के आओ, नहीं तो कुशल मुझे गालियां देगा.
No, the problem is it starts getting repetitive after the second one. So practically you're hearing the same thing. So it's literally as if he's memorized it like a kindergarten kid. कि बच्चों घर पे मेहमान आए हैं, poem सुनानी है, तो caste census, 200 corporates, where are the marginalized, 90%. By this time you've done with the second address of Rahul Gandhi, even the question answers, you are like, अच्छा भी ये बोलने वाला है. It's that predictable. What wasn't predictable, however, was what does the A in India line stand for?
That has to be played. That has to be played and aired for the audience. But I 100% endorse what you said. So this is something I tweeted yesterday after, you know, I had done a series of, like, I was a serial tweeter yesterday, tweeting like a madman, quoting his videos and, you know, making my comments on the videos. So I have noticed 3 major patterns. In all his 3 speeches, there are 3 major patterns. Softball questions. That is the biggest major pattern. Softball. Listen, I understand every political interview, including the interview of Narendra Modi, is a fixed match. I am not going to deny most interviews are fixed matches. One of the biggest reasons Cārvāka podcast, kushalmehra, don't talk to politicians is because I refuse to do that. I refuse to send fixed questions, which is why. So always remember, if a politician has come on my podcast, they agreed to my conditions. So whether it was Vinod Tawade, Poonam Mahajan, they agreed to my condition कि मैं तुमको जो पूछना है पूछूंगा, तुम मुझे नहीं बोल सकते मेरे को क्या पूछना है तुमको. So kudos to them. What happened to them after that is not my problem. But they agreed and they came on my podcast agreeing that I will ask whatever I want to ask. Now Rahul Gandhi keeps on, you know, he's been prepped. He's been prepped to say a few things, and I think he has this, you know, book that he wakes up in the morning, he's like, and he has memorized a few lines, because no matter what the question is, Rahul Gandhi ka answer ek hi hota hai. So he has this love for Muradabad, apparently. Like, he clearly loves carpets of Muradabad. इसने बहुत खरीदे होंगे carpet Muradabad से, because all 3 speeches में he has given the Muradabad carpet example. All 3 of them, All three of them. He has given the Muradabad carpet example. All three of them, I am the one who started the politics of love. In one speech, a crowd में से एक बंदा या बंदी shouts, अबे माइकल जैक्सन का कॉन्सर्ट है क्या बे?
That was the Georgetown one, yes.
I mean, it's so cringe. Listen, if somebody shouts, I love you, Modi ji, I'm judging you. We're supposed to criticize politicians, not fall in love with them. What is wrong with people?
No, but but one disclaimer I'd like to put out is, despite of all the jokes we're going to crack, and there are going to be a lot of jokes, please understand whatever he utters, the contradiction it has with his own stances in the past, with his party's current stance, and with the future of India, the interests of India in the long term, those are very worrying. So this podcast we are doing, and Kushal was kind enough to sort of ask me to reach out that if I want to join him in this trauma. But please understand, the worrying part is the contradiction. The worrying part is actually the contradiction. And if that contradiction transforms into votes, and those votes transform into a government, that is where our concern is. And that is why this entire analysis that we are going to do. And the one other reason also is people have very poor public memory. Very, very poor memory. The public has such pathetic memory, pardon the French. They don't even remember. I'll tell you the funniest thing. This last evening, which was yesterday night, India time, or 10th in the America, he had this interaction where the anchor, it was, I think, a publishing house or something, they awarded him with a cup. She said that, what are your thoughts on policies and blah, blah, blah. Rahul Gandhi said, and legit he said, we are thinking of pushing reservations for women in assemblies and the parliament. And no journalist in India, no journalist, no Congress supporter, and I'm sorry to say, not even many influencers on our side, they could actually see the irony that bill became an act last September, a year ago almost. And Rahul Gandhi saying they're pushing for it. The anchor, of course, is low IQ. If she agreed to interview him.
Thou shalt not read a newspaper is the only commandment.
My worry is at one point we'll start getting repetitive in the sense people read the newspaper.
यार क्या करें मगर तुषार तू और मैं अगर पढ़ते हैं ये हमारी गलती नहीं है यार.
अरे हम पढ़ते हैं, राहुल गांधी नहीं पढ़ता, और वो एंकर तो बिल्कुल नहीं पढ़ती है.
एंकर कभी नहीं पढ़ते. एंकर के तो रिक्वायरमेंट है नहीं पढ़ना.
So,
can we start? Stuff. I want to take the first issue. I will play his speech on Sikhs. And why I want to start with this is, there are two Punjabis on the screen right now. Tushar is a Punjabi. I am a Punjabi. This shit is personal. This is personal. So we will start with something that is personal. और इसको क्या जरूरत है पंजाब को आग, इसकी दादी ने पूरी स्टेट को आग लगा दी. इसको चैन नहीं मिला. पूरी स्टेट को इसकी दादी ने आग लगा दी. चैन नहीं मिला इसको, और आग लगानी है इसको. So let me play the speech first and then Tushar, I want your reaction. मतलब पता नहीं की किस्म का वाहियात बंदा है. Let's play the speech.
Yes.
What is your name? Brother, with the turban. What is your name? Balinder Sikh. The fight is about whether he, as a Sikh, is going to be allowed to wear his turban in India. Or he, as a Sikh, is going to be allowed to wear a kada in India. Or he, as a Sikh, is going to be able to go to a Gurdwara. That's what the fight is about. And not just for him, for all religions. Fight is also about, I can see here in the crowd, people from Tamil Nadu, Punjab, Haryana. I can see all these people.
Notice, Tamil Nadu, Punjab, Haryana. Gujarat नहीं बोला काके ने. गुजरात नहीं बोला काके ने. नोट ये चीजें नोट करने वाली होती हैं कि क्यों बोलते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं.
तेलंगाना, कर्नाटका, Andhra Pradesh. Right? So now, see, when I say Kerala, see, I've been a member of parliament for Kerala. So when I say Kerala, first Maharashtra. Andhra Pradesh now.
So basically national integration की speech हो गई थी, मगर let's start with this. कि how do you respond to this level? This is gaslighting at its finest.
So I'll reply in 3 levels. Let's first talk about history. It's ironical that our current prime minister, when he went underground during the emergency, he wore a turban and he was safe from that dictator at that time. It's a very poetic sort of irony. That today Rahul Gandhi says it's not safe to wear a turban in India, but our prime minister, when he went underground during the emergency as a Swayamsevak, he was wearing a turban. Number two, in 2021, when the farmers marched on to Delhi on Republic Day, a high security day with the entire parade arrangements and everything, the government trusted them to carry out the march peacefully. The government trusted them. In 1982, when the entire Sikh agitation was on in Punjab, there were 1,500 Sikhs who were arrested on the borders of Delhi because the Asian Games were. I'm just giving you this history lesson to show you the contrast between the Congress and the BJP. Whatever happened on 26 January 2021, very disappointing, but you have to give the government credit. They at least believed that they'll take out the march peacefully. Number one. Now let's come to the whataboutery part. Who's Rahul Gandhi to talk about what Sikhs are safe about and what not? 1984, I still remember that interview he did with Arnab Goswami 10 years ago. That sort of should go down into one of the finest interviews ever done in Indian television history. Arnab Goswami kept asking him, are you apologetic about 1984? Was your party member involved? Yes or no? And Rahul Gandhi is like, I wasn't there. Yes, my party is apologetic. I'm not there. So this is the whataboutery answer. That people who were, the party rather, who was leading that 1984 one-sided riot against the Sikhs in Delhi, today they are going to tell us what's safe to wear in India and what not. And number three, purely from a political point of view, this is inciting hate, nothing else. Kushal, my question, why did he not talk about Jains? Fair number of them in America. Buddhists, Christians, Parsis. Where are they in Rahul Gandhi's equation?
No, and he knew his audience, right? He knew his audience. Remember this article. Rajiv Gandhi calls for vengeance against his mother's assassins. This is the Washington Post. Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi, charging that his mother was the victim of a foreign-linked conspiracy, said Monday that Indira Gandhi's assassination should be avenged, not in anger, but through efforts to unify a strong and modern India. In his first appearance in the public rally since being sworn as Prime Minister on October 31st, Gandhi said the assassination was not to remove just one person, but to shatter the state stability of the country. Gandhi said, when a large tree falls, the earth shakes, but the world can see and is seeing that India is independent and strong. We must see that the work of Jawaharlal Nehru and Indira Gandhi is completed. Nehru was Indira Gandhi's father and Indira's first prime minister. This was Rajiv Gandhi. And today Rahul Gandhi is in agreement with none other than a banned organization, Sikhs for Justice. And their leader...
And the ban has been extended for 5 more years, just now, a few minutes back.
So my question to Rahul Gandhi from this podcast, and I'm sure Tushar also wants to ask this question. When a person like Gurpatwant Singh Pannu that issues open threats to Indians sitting in the United States of America, Pannu, Tushar, should I read the 2 paragraphs of Gurpatwant Singh Pannu?
Absolutely, because there will be people who will be on audio. So please, yes.
Yes. So this is a letter dated September 10, 2024 from Washington, D.C. Titled Rahul Gandhi reverberates Sikhs for Justice's position on Khalistan. While addressing the gathering in Washington, D.C., where many pro-Khalistan Sikhs were in attendance, his words, not mine, Rahul Gandhi justified SFJ's global Khalistan referendum campaign when he stated, quote, fight in India is whether a Sikh will be allowed to wear a turban and kada, go to a Gurdwara. Rahul's statement on, quote, existential threat to Sikhs in India, unquote, is not only bold and pioneering, but is also firmly grounded in the factual history of what Sikhs have been facing under successive regimes in India since 1947, and also corroborates SFJ stands on the justification of Punjab independence referendum to establish the Sikh homeland Khalistan, issued by Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, attorney at law, New York General Counsel to SFJ. He has given his email ID and number, which I'm not going to read for the benefit of privacy. Well, he clearly does not believe in privacy. He has shared it openly. But now I want your reaction.
Two things. In 2020, 2021, they convinced the farmers of Punjab alone that the government was working against their interests. The Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party and the entire opposition, because there were elections coming up. Now that plot has fallen flat. It fell flat in 2024 also, correct? The public sympathy is lost for the farmers. So now they're cooking up another narrative that the Sikhs somehow are victims of intolerance in India. Now, the problem is if it's made in a news debate or by some random commentator like some Wire editor or some leftist portal editor, no one really cares. But when the leader of opposition, a position of responsibility, and a party with 99 or 98 MPs in the Lok Sabha makes such a statement, that becomes a global narrative. Like it or not, there is some value added to that statement, however futile that value might be. Rahul Gandhi does not realize that. The Congress party does not realize that. Tomorrow, somewhere in some fancy university of the West, a paper would be written on religious intolerance in India. It would be bullshit. It would be sugar-coated rhetoric. But somewhere Rahul Gandhi's statement will come in that, oh, the leader of opposition, representing the Grand Old Party of India, a 4 or 5-time MP, says that Sikhs are not allowed to wear turbans and kadas in India. They link it to the farmers' protest. They link it to the financial state of Punjab, in which Modi or Amit Shah have nothing to do. It's the state that has mixed itself up and continues to do so. But that is how the narrative will be floated, and organizations will get excited. Organizations like SFJ. I'm telling you how this entire narrative cycle works. You already know, but for the benefit of the viewers. SFJ got so excited by that statement, they did not even wait for 10 hours. They were like, "Arey, ye to hum use karenge," and they have. So any loose comment made with respect to India's sovereignty, national security, the radical organizations will pick it up. And look at the irony, Kushal. Indira Gandhi's hoardings, posters, floaters, whatever you want, they paraded around with bullet shots on the body, depicting on her body. They ridicule her assassination. Rahul Gandhi's grandmother assassination is mocked and ridiculed by these people, celebrated as some achievement, and Rahul Gandhi is peddling narratives that works right into their agenda. I don't know what to call it. Maybe someone had replied to me in a very smart tweet. He said maybe voting is thicker than blood now. Votes are thicker than blood for Rahul Gandhi. Is that the case? We don't know. But Rahul Gandhi needs to act with responsibility. This is not something we can brush under the carpet. Link it with also what Charanjit Singh Channi, the Punjab Lok Sabha MP for the Congress in the 18th Lok Sabha, said on the floor of the parliament. He made a case for Amritpal Singh, who was a separatist first, and then he was elected as an MP, unfortunately. So you need to connect the dots. It goes back to the same thing. Don't look at this comment in isolation. Look at it at how it will be used. And yes. Rahul Gandhi last year also made a very similar remark when he was touring someplace that you are a Sikh, you are second-class citizens in India. This is irresponsible. Is he not aware about the Prime Minister's security breach in Punjab? Is he not aware about the CM's assassination in the 90s? Is he not aware about his own grandmother's assassination after Operation Blue Star? Is he not aware of what events led to the creation of Bhindranwale? What were the political implications of it? What were the political ambitions behind it? Yeah, या तो आप ignorant हो, आपके supporters तो हैं. This is now something I take for granted. Congress support base, the new coined IT cell on social media, especially Twitter, is ignorant. They have been paid enough, I would assume, to keep their eyes, mouth, and ears shut. But is Rahul Gandhi unaware? Doesn't he know the price? In his words, he's paid the price. But he's again playing the same dirty game.
Just to back you up before somebody says कि ऐसा तो कुछ हुआ ही नहीं है. This is Brampton in saga.com. Parade float of Indira Gandhi assassination in Brampton slammed by Indian government. This is A report by Ryan Rumbold for InSaga, published June 8, 2023. This is the float. For those who are listening to the audio version, there is a float where Indira Gandhi is supposedly in a sari. There is a float of Indira Gandhi in a white sari with her hands up, and two turbaned men in army camouflage uniforms with a gun in their hand shooting her. Shame on Rahul Gandhi. Seriously, shame on him. Listen, I would have never voted for Indira Gandhi, but damn it, that was my prime minister.
Exactly.
How dare you murder my prime minister and think you can get away with it? How dare you? That's my sovereign leader. In my first book launch in Toronto, and by the way, people who think I'm lying, that luckily that boy actually tweeted below my tweet, said, "Nahi bhaiya, you did say that." Somebody actually asked me a question about Congress policies in India. And my answer at that time was, let me be the mature one. I'm here in Canada. I don't bash Congress in Canada. I bash them on my podcast, wherever I host it, because it's for Indian audiences. And I'll do it in India, Canadian gatherings. But I'm going to break my code now. Everywhere I go, I'm going to bash this evil outfit, because this evil outfit that is led by this man is no longer a Pappu. This man, he is beyond Pappu. He's a Papi. And when Simranjit Singh Maan, former member of parliament and an open Khalistani, says this.
हाँ बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं, क्यों करके इतनी देर से हमारे गुरुद्वारा साहब के इलेक्शंस एसजीपीसी से के हो नहीं रहे, इनको टाला मटोल क्यों किया जा रहा है। दूसरी बात है कि जो मोदी साहब और उनकी कैबिनेट और उनके नेशनल सिक्योरिटी एडवाइजर डोयल और रॉ ने,
यार डोयल नहीं बोल सकते सरदार जी, डोयल की होया की है इन्होंने
ये पॉलिसी इख्तियार की है कि जो सिख आज़ादी में मानता है उसको गोली या जहर दे के मारा जाए। इस पॉलिसी के तहत कनाडा में 3 सिख मार दिए हैं, एक नागरा साहब, एक मलक साहब, एक सुखदूल सिंह। विलायत बरतानिया में अवतार सिंह खंडे को मार दिया है, हरियाणा में दीप सिंह सिद्धू को मार दिया है, पंजाब में मूसेवाल को मार दिया है, पाकिस्तान में परमजीत सिंह पंजवाड़ और रोडे को मार दिया है। तो फिर राहुल जी अब ठीक बात कर रहे हैं।
दिस मैन इज एन ओपन खालिस्तानी और मैं इसके कच्छे उतारने हैं। सो बेयर विथ मी माय डियर व्यूअर्स एंड लिसनर्स एंड तुषार, बिकॉज ए बंदा जो है, ये जो बंदा है, ये बंदा ऐसा फ्रॉडिया है। जब ये मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट था, ये फ्रॉडिया सिमरनजीत सिंह मान, ये इलेक्शन जीता था संगरूर से। हिज अचीवमेंट इज दैट ही हैज नेवर बीन अलाउड इनसाइड द पार्लियामेंट ऑफ इंडिया। ये इसकी अचीवमेंट है, ये फ्रॉडिया की अचीवमेंट है। और ये फ्रॉडिया करता क्या है, लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, आई वांट टू प्ले अ वीडियो ऑफ दिस फ्रॉडिया नंबर 1। और ये मतलब ये वाहियात बंदा, ये इसकी कमाई है, ये सिमरनजीत सिंह की कमाई है। और ये वीडियो मैं प्ले कर रहा हूं आप लोगों के लिए, बड़ा जरूरी है, ये जरूरी है आप लोग समझो ये क्या, ये फ्रॉडिया ये करता क्या है। ये इसका धंधा था, ये सुनो, पंजाबी में है, विथ इंग्लिश सबटाइटल सो दैट एवरीबॉडी अंडरस्टैंड्स।
मान साहब एक गल ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਹੋਰ ਬੜੀ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਮਾਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕੋਲ ਇੱਕ ਲੈਟਰ ਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੰਦੇ ਪੱਕੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ। ਇਹ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਸਚਾਈ ਆ? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਲੈਟਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਐਕਸਟ੍ਰੈਡੀਸ਼ਨ ਲੈਣ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ
ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਮੁਸੀਬਤ ਚ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਚਿੱਠੀ ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨਾਂ
ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ?
ਹਾਂ, ਪਾਰਟੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਪੱਕੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ।
ਕਿੰਨੇ ਕੁ ਬੰਦੇ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਪੱਕੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ?
ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿੰਨੇ, ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਗਿਣੇ, ਪਰ ਇਹ 50,000 ਤਾਂ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਹੋਣੇ।
ਉਹਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਫੀਸ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ?
ਫੀਸ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਚਲਾਉਣ ਦੇ ਲਈ।
ਅੱਛਾ,
ਹਾਂ,
ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਫੰਡ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ
ਹਾਂ
ਉਹ ਲੈਣੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ?
ਹਾਂ, ਬਸ।
ਕਿੰਨੀ ਫੀਸ ਲੈਣੇ? ਕੋਈ ਪੱਕੀ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਬੰਦੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਤ ਮੁਤਾਬਕ ਆ?
ਨਹੀਂ ਪੱਕੀ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹ 30 ਲੱਖ ਰੁਪਈਆ ਖਰਚਦੇ ਹੈ ਤੇ 35,000 ਦੇ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੈ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਨੂੰ।
35,000 ਰੁਪਇਆ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ। 35,000 ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੈਟਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਉੱਥੇ ਰਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕੋਈ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਖਤਰਾ ਭਾਰਤ 'ਚ, ਤਾਂ
ਹਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ 30 ਲੱਖ 40 ਲੱਖ ਦੇ ਕੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੈ।
ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਿਰੋਧੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਜੇ ਕਹਿ ਦੇਣ ਵੀ ਦੇਖੋ ਜੀ ਮਾਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤਾਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਲੈਟਰਾਂ ਦੇ,
ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਚਲਾਊਂਗਾ? ਉਹ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਚਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਪਾਰਟੀ? ਮੇਰੇ ਵਿਰੋਧੀ ਵੀ ਤਾਂ ਪੈਸੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਲਈ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹੀ ਹੈ।
ਪਾਰਟੀ ਲਈ ਫੰਡ ਆ ਉਹ?
ਹਾਂ,
ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਘਰ 'ਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਉਹ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੇ ਖਾਤੇ ਜਾਂਦਾ?
ਨਾ, ਮੇਰੇ ਫੰਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ। ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਲੰਗਰ ਹੁਣ ਛਕਿਆ ਇਹ ਮੇਰਾ ਲੰਗਰ ਹੈ, ਇਹ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਥੋੜੀ। ਸਵੇਰੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ 30-40 ਇੱਥੋਂ ਹੀ ਛਕਦੇ ਆ। ਇਹ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦਾ ਲੰਗਰ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ, ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਹੈ।
This fraudia Khalistani takes money from people in Punjab, writes fake refugee letters so that they can claim refugee status here in Canada. And he openly boasts this to media personnel of Punjabi media. And then this open Khalistani now is supporting Rahul Gandhi. और यार मतलब कुछ तो शर्म करो. And now, you know, to every Khalistani, ये मेरा जवाब है तुम सब लोगों को, इफ यू रियली केयर तो यार हर आदमी जाओ मेरी ये टी शर्ट खरीदो और खालिस्तानी के आगे जाके पहनो. सीना ठोक के बोल रहा हूं अभी मैं, पुलिस आ गई, पुलिस जाओ खरीदो सालो इंडिया में. इनको तो अभी यही जवाब देना है. मैं तो गया था, मैं डैनियल के साथ बैठा था, मैंने ये शर्ट पहनी और मैंने ऐसे खालिस्तानी होके आगे मैंने ये शर्ट पहनी है. और इसके पहले की खालिस्तानी बोले कौन है? हाँ, ये द ग्रेटेस्ट सरदार इन इंडियन हिस्ट्री, केपीएस गिल. हाँ, मैंने उसको सेंटर में रखा है. जाओ तुम लोगों को जो समझना है समझो. बोलिए सर महाराज तुषार.
नहीं, I'm just more fascinated by the t-shirt. I'm just going to place an order, that's all.
या नहीं लेनी पड़ेगी हर आदमी. इफ यू आर अ सच्चा पंजाबी और पुलिस आ गई, पुलिस की शर्ट नहीं पहनी तुमने तो कुछ नहीं पहना. इज्जत का सवाल है.
As a fun fact, Simranjeet Singh Mann in the 80s and early 90s, around one time he made this proposal that the United Nations should supervise the elections in Punjab. मैं उस दिन आर्काइव्स में था तो तब इनका स्टेटमेंट देखा. बट वही है, people will latch on to Rahul Gandhi's comment, Kushal. We have to be prepared for it. People who are young, probably the ones born after 90s or 2000s, who probably don't have that much interest in history, you do not understand the kind of violence the entire Delhi Punjab belt, including Haryana, encompassing Haryana, witnessed from the late 70s to the early 90s. And it ended with not just the assassination of our prime minister, also with the one assassination of the chief minister of Punjab, Byan Singh, right? But when someone makes these very irresponsible remarks, you need to curb them in. उस दिन बहुत लोगों ने rant किया था when Kangana withdrew her remarks, and it was a very mature call she made. She said, probably the party's hierarchy is telling me something, I'll abide by it, I'm a learner. And it was a very, very mature statement to make, right? People don't understand that these careless remarks made by Rahul Gandhi are going to be used as fodder by radicals sitting abroad. And these radicals were very, very active in 2020, 2021. They saw that opening, that fault line. And today also they are looking for that one fault line, which the government is not giving them, but they're looking for that one fault line to create unrest in Punjab. Amritpal Singh was not in Punjab from 2014 or from the 1980s. He was someone who used to be active on an app called Clubhouse in 2020. वहां अपने प्रवचन देता था, वहां से उठ के पता नहीं पंजाब में कैसे आ गया. And then suddenly he became a hero, at least to a few dozen men and women. And that's about it. So understand there are forces which the government is acting against. क्योंकि भी लोग बोलेंगे तो सरकार क्या कर रही है? सरकार बहुत कुछ कर रही है, but then these people are looking for such fault lines. Yeah. And if people are going to be stupid enough to offer those fault lines on a platter, they will be called out.
Absolutely.
And Rahul Gandhi is doing that foolishness by saying, imagine you're telling that an entire state, Sikh majority state in India, is unsafe. And that's a border state, mind you. It borders Pakistan, international border. And are Sikhs only in Punjab? No, they are in Delhi. They are in UP. They are in Bihar in a considerable number. They're down south. They're in Mumbai. They're practically everywhere. So what kind of a division are you creating between one community a minority, an actual minority, not the second largest majority, but an actual minority, and the rest of the country.
He's so pathetic. And I'm glad Puri sir and many other people actually stood up to his, like, you want to know what a Sikh is? सालो बेशर्मो, ये एक सरदार है, ये हमारे महाराष्ट्र का सरदार, ये बगा ये बगा काय करतो, ये हमारे महाराष्ट्र में है, ये हमारा महाराष्ट्र, हमारा इंडिया. ये हम करते हैं, ये नॉर्मल है.
Another thing. And by doing what Rahul Gandhi did, he is not only defaming India, he's defaming the Sikh community also.
Yes,
like,
that is what bothers me.
Hardeep Singh Puri is like, when did this guy started representing me? Like, really, when? Rahul Gandhi's Congress insulted Captain Amrinder Singh, who politically might not be on his best footing, but he still commands some sort of a legacy respect in Punjab. They shunned him out of the party in 2022 with utter disrespect. Today he stands up and says, "Oh, you guys are not safe in India." This is ridiculous.
और मजे की बात है, राहुल गांधी ने ये किधर बोला? तुझे याद है 2010 में क्या हुआ था? हाँ, तूने हरदीप सर का नाम लिया, इसके लिए मैंने बोला, तूने हरदीप सर का नाम लिया. Just for the benefit of our young viewers, see, you and I are news junkies, political junkies.
Yeah.
यंग बच्चों को ये मालूम नहीं होगा. ये उस देश में नाम लिया है राहुल गांधी ने, ये शब्द बोले जिस देश में 2010 में ये हुआ था. Blast from the past, turban check on Indian envoy at US airport sparks row. It has emerged that India's UN envoy Hardeep Puri was reportedly asked to remove his turban at an airport in Houston, Texas 2 weeks ago. When the Sikh refused to do so, he was detained in a holding room, say Indian media. India's US ambassador Meera Shankar was frisked at a US airport this month. Foreign Minister S.M. Krishna told the media in Delhi on Monday, "We have taken it up with the US authorities and the matter involving Mr. Puri is at that stage." Oh, Vahiyat Insan, Rahul Gandhi. Oh, Vahiyat Insan.
Do you remember the kind of campaign that was unleashed against the Sikhs after 9/11? And it's ironical, it's 11 September today, 23 years since that dreadful day. But you remember how unsafe it had become for Sikhs to wear turbans in the US after 9/11? I think there was one person who was actually murdered also on suspicion, if I remember correctly. And this is from 23 years ago.
And he gives this statement at a time when just now a 22-year-old young boy, Jashandeep Singh, just recently got murdered. A 22-year-old young Sikh boy, हमारा बच्चा, हम भारतीयों का बच्चा है वो, जशनदीप. अभी मर्डर हुआ है उसका, अभी हुआ है. और ऐसे टाइम पे जब यहां पे ये हरकतें हो रही हैं, राहुल गांधी इंडिया को नीचे कर रहा है. ये है वो बच्चा. एडमिंटन जर्नल में, फैमिली एंड कम्युनिटी स्टन्ड बाय फेटल स्टैबिंग ऑफ नाइस गाय बाय रैंडम स्ट्रेंजर इन एडमिंटन पार्केट. क्या कसूर था ये बच्चे का? बातें करता है राहुल गांधी उधर बैठ के, इधर इसको खंजर मारा है कनाडा में. शर्म आनी चाहिए राहुल गांधी को.
You know what I would have applauded Rahul Gandhi for, though I don't think it's going to happen, at least in this universe, if he had stood up to the Americans and said it's intolerant towards religious minorities here, especially those religious minorities that come from far. The Americans have been intolerant towards Sikhs. You've presented enough evidence. And not just at one instance, at multiple instances. There are instances when they have been severely intolerant towards the Muslims also.
Yeah.
There are instances when they have been severely intolerant towards the Hindu interests also. But Rahul Gandhi won't say all that. He's going there and talking about 90% marginalized India. I mean, we'll come to that. But again, please understand, people, this is not a random statement. Abhi Rajdeep Sardesai ka tweet tha, he's not the prime minister yet. He's just an LOP. Why are you taking him so seriously? Why there needs to be political controversy? I'm sorry, it's not that simple.
Kya pagal hai kya Rajdeep?
The answer is rhetorical. The question is rhetorical, so we'll skip that. But But understand, he's the LOP, he's the face of the opposition. He's introduced as the leader of the opposition that is 30 short of majority. That is how they introduced him in last night's event. So whatever he says, it's going to make it to research papers, to studies, to books, to academia, to news cycles, to news debates everywhere in the West. And that is then going to be used to peddle a narrative against India in India. And you've seen a teaser of it in 2021. People who are far unfortunate have seen it live in 1980s. You don't want to remember those times when you talk to elderly people in the family or friends in Punjab especially. But वही लोगों को समझ नहीं आता ना, dismiss it as some, just
and
very
believe
lightly.
me, I am so glad. I don't know if you know about this website.
Yes.
If you care for what happened in Punjab, तवलीन सिंह की किताबें पढ़ो.
दरबार, yes.
सिद्धू तवलीन की पहले की भी किताबें पढ़ो. शेखर गुप्ता के आर्टिकल्स पढ़ो. शेखर ने बहुत अच्छी कवरेज की है. शेखर के है ना 4-5 वीडियो हैं कट द क्लटर के ऑन द एंटायर पंजाब फियास्को. वो पढ़ो. सिद्धू साहब की बुक पढ़ो. टेरी मिलेव्स्की की बुक पढ़ो. और ये वेबसाइट पे जाके कोलेशन ऑफ आर्टिकल्स दैट वर पब्लिश्ड इन बोथ गुरमुखी एंड देवनागरी, पंजाबी एंड हिंदी. ये पंजाब फाइल्स में ये लोग ने कोलेट करके रखा हुआ है. You will understand why people like Tushar and I are so sensitive to this matter, because ऐसा एक पंजाबी नहीं होगा, भले वो पंजाब में रहने वाला पंजाबी हो या पंजाब के बाहर रहने वाला पंजाबी हो, जिसके परिवार में कभी गोली नहीं चली हो, जिसके किसी रिश्तेदार को उठाया ना हो, जिसके घर पे कोई मरा ना हो. ये क्यों कर रहा है राहुल गांधी? ये राहुल गांधी क्या और पंजाबियों को मार के ही जिएगा क्या? इनका खून खौलता नहीं है किसी का इस आदमी के लिए. Ask a Punjabi how sensitive they are to this.
And again, it's not that this is a stance we've taken now. Even during the farmer protests, बहुत anti-Sikh sentiment हो गया था, because people were watching what they were watching on television.
We stood up.
And we heard a lot of cuss words and whatnot.
हमको तो क्या-क्या नहीं बोला गया था. हमको तो पता नहीं क्या-क्या बोला गया था.
But I told everyone one thing, that there is an agenda of the foreign powers to drive a wedge between Hindus and Sikhs. One understands that what you're watching on television may not look nice, but do not fall for that divisive agenda. I say that same today. I think you also tweeted a while back. There are powers, the same powers that will latch on to Rahul Gandhi's statement, that want Hindus and Sikhs warring against each other. And the leader of that pack would be the ISI for sure. Because doing that, they get an unstable state on the border, right along Jammu and Kashmir. It's Christmas for them. The prospect is Christmas for them. So people need to look at the long game. You think the entire drug problem in Punjab has nothing to do with ISI? They destabilized an entire state society, socially and culturally, for the last 20 years after Operation Blue Star. You think ISI has nothing to do with it? You think ISI or Pakistan or people who are anti-India lobbies, we'll just generically define them here, they have nothing to do with dividing a wedge between Sikhs and Hindus? If you think they have nothing to do with it, well, start reading today. Because then you're reading the entire polity wrong. That is why I'm so sensitive, not just to Hindu-Sikh division, any division which also exists between states when it comes to local reservations or local issues, protectionism among states. Because any division within India, if the national identity gets diluted for a regional or a region-centric identity, religion-centric identity, that is where the downfall of India will begin. It may not appear that obvious in the short term, but 30 years later, your India will be converted into an Indian union with every state running as a separate sovereign. That's the plan of the anti-India lobbies, the enemies of India.
Talking about anti-India lobbies, महाराज को देखो किसको मिल रहे हैं.
Yes.
यार ये आदमी क्यों पैदा हो गया है? ये क्या कर रहा है ये? What is he doing? He's meeting Ilhan Omar.
So one question I had, Kushal, since you are very active in covering American and Canadian politics, if he's going there, all this way with all the hype around him, shadow PM and wo belt or iodex wala bhi tweet, I don't know what that meant, right? But he's ending up meeting literally the dirt of the Democratic Party. Doesn't it tell us a lot about his stature?
Yeah, this is Ilhan Omar's tweets, right? Modi's government has repressed religious minorities, emboldened violent Hindu nationalist groups, targeted journalists, human rights advocates with impunity. She calls for the restoration of communication, respect of human rights in Kashmir. She basically is the worst person that you're supposed to meet. This is the same person who goes around, you know, mollycoddling Pakistani politicians, and everything is there. And then he also meets Sarita Pandey and Mushfiqul Fazal Ansare. You know who they are. He meets everyone that is anti-India. He meets everyone that is anti-India.
The person on the right, the rightmost rectangle, the red rectangle, he's the one who's every day in the White House asking questions on India's intolerance and ये वो मतलब बात हो रही होगी फेड की ये बीच में लेगा but in Kashmir the government is acting in an intolerant manner. I mean, these are Kushal, that's the problem. People are unable to connect the dots. And again, I don't want to sound elitist or, I don't want to sound dismissive of someone, but stop looking at events in an isolated fashion. This man is present in the White House every day, asking anti-India questions during the White House briefing. Rahul Gandhi is meeting him. Ilhan Omar had a perspective on Kashmir, which was anti-India, had a perspective on farmers' protest, which was anti-India. Yet Rahul Gandhi meets her. Compare this with the foreign minister, S. Shankar, who refused to meet one such member because of her stances. I think it was Priyam, some name she had. It's not coming to me. जयशंकर refused to meet anyone with an anti-India stance. अब कहेंगे but Rahul, अभी एक debate चल रहा था and this Congress spokesperson says, oh then you should put together a list. This was your defense on a debate. आप लिस्ट दे दीजिए कि राहुल गांधी को किन लोगों से मिलना चाहिए, किन लोगों से नहीं मिलना चाहिए. भाई फिर तुम एलओपी किस बात के हो? तुम ग्रैंड ओल्ड पार्टी किस बात के हो?
वो जिसको जयशंकर ने मना कर दिया था.
Pardon me, it was just not.
It's absolutely crazy that Rahul Gandhi actually goes around and meets such people that sometimes I wonder, who are his advisors. It's actually insane. It's batshit crazy, and it doesn't end there. It just जिसको कहते हैं अभी तो पार्टी शुरू हुई है. Okay, good. You're back. You were frozen for a while, Tushar. या तो exit करके वापस आ जा. That would be better. You're frozen there, so I would recommend you exit. In the meantime, I want to go now to the next bits of. Okay, now you're not frozen.
Yeah.
Good. Now I also want to now go to the next bit of this genius's क्या बोलते हैं speech. Matlab, there are so many things. Now, do we take on this entire caste privilege thing that Rahul Gandhi says
Absolutely.
all the time?
Absolutely.
Okay, so theek hai. I want to start by this clip. He starts here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Problem is about participation of weaker sections of lower castes, in particular Dalits, across the board, right? So I'll shock you by saying that if you were to look at the top 200 corporates in India, and you were to look at their management teams, and you were to look at their CEOs, you wouldn't find anybody from the lower caste, right? You'd find only people from the upper caste. Same with the Indian media. If you look at media, you'd find that it's the preserve of upper caste. You look at the influencers on social media, you look at the big columnists, you look at the people who control the media infrastructure. Again, it's the same.
So he says this, that basically India is controlled by upper caste. He also, by the way, says it's a divide in every religion. I'm going to be fair to him because I know his entire speech. He says Musalmanon mein bhi yahi hai. But then my question to Rahul is that, भाई तू कभी अपनी लाइफ को देखा है क्या? So this is Rahul Gandhi's, okay, and I'm sorry, I'm going to do this now. That no, I didn't want to do this. Blast from the past. Blast from the past, ladies and gentlemen. An article from the Indian Express. Years of practice at Tughlakabad shooting range helped Rahul Gandhi, son of Prime Minister, to secure admission at St. Stephen's College. Despite scoring just 61% marks in his Class 12 exam, Rahul secured admission in the sports quota in a college where the cutoff percentage bordered 80. Rahul took to rifle shooting some years back and promptly came under the wing of ace shooters like Olympian Randir Singh. As the boy took to the sport, he made it his point to visit the range every day. ऐसे उसके marks सुनो हाँ. Rahul had an aggregate of just 61% in his best 4 subjects. He had 60 in English score, Angrezi mein, by the way, 55 in physics, 79 in chemistry, 49 in economics. Ladies and gentlemen, I repeat, Rahul Gandhi had 49 in economics and 41 in mathematics. All the Indian parents must be like, "Hi, मेरे बच्चे को इतने कम marks मिले." And I want to show the next page for those who think he did not come through this quota. Hi. Ladies and gentlemen, ਇਹ ਵੇਖੋ photo ਸਾਡੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਦੀ. ਇਹ ਵੇਖੋ photo ਸਾਡੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਦੀ. Getting a shooting range ka award. Hi. And now I want to connect it. मतलब हर जगह ये बंदे को दिखता है भाई. तो मैं इस जनेऊधारी ब्राह्मण से पूछना चाहता हूँ, before somebody says why are you calling him जनेऊधारी ब्राह्मण, where has Rahul Gandhi ever claimed his religious क्या बोलते हैं, religious personality का ये वो identity. Rahul Gandhi never talks about his religious identity. Actually, he did. He proclaimed from the top of his lungs, I am a Kaul Brahmin, my Gotra is Dattatraya. Congress President Rahul Gandhi answers the BJP in a Rajasthan election 2018 rally. Hi. उसका गोत्र भी अनाउंस कर दिया हमारे बंदे ने. अपना जनेऊधारी ब्राह्मण भाई, तू डिसाइड कर ले तू क्या है. तो
I think because he scored 79 in chemistry, that explains why he's so acidic in his conduct. And he neutralizes all the prospects of the Congress. So chemistry 79, I mean, not bad. But I wouldn't take my economics lesson from someone who couldn't even get 50. I'm very clear about it. And वो भी मैं assume कर रहा हूँ generous marking हुआ होगा कि अरे ठीक है पास करना है. But again, you know why Rahul Gandhi hates merit, Kushal?
Yeah.
Because if there was 1% merit in the Congress party, he wouldn't be there where he is within the party. But another important point, when Rahul Gandhi says that top 200 corporates of India do not have the marginalized communities being represented, this is not empty rhetoric. Page number 7, point number 23, something I and Kushal brought up when we discussed the party manifestos, if Kushal remembers.
Yes.
Something I brought up on every single debate that used to happen on television before the elections. What does it mean? Congress will establish a diversity commission that will measure, monitor, and promote diversity in the public and private employment and education. This is Rahul Gandhi's Kamala Harris moment.
That means he's bringing Muslim reservations in India. He's bringing. That means he's eating the share of SC/STs in India.
That they've already tried in Andhra Pradesh, mind you. They have already tried it. The court struck it down. They tried it. In 2012-13, they wanted religious-based reservation. They wanted the Supreme Court to hear them out. The Supreme Court showed them to. But people must understand, especially the young voters, people who are aspiring for jobs in colleges, probably even in high school. Congress is talking about reservations in the private sector. Rahul Gandhi is not saying top 200 companies of India have this much market cap. Rahul Gandhi is not saying top 200 companies of India employ these many people. Rahul Gandhi does not say that top 200 companies have these many patents, this much infrastructure, this much production, this much contribution to GDP. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Zilch. He says they do not have marginalized communities. Now, correlated with point number 7, 23, diversity commission. And if you go a little up, point number 13, we will enact a law with reference to Article 15, Section 5 of the Constitution to provide for reservation in private educational institutions for SC, STs, and OBCs. So they are very much upfront about private sector reservation in educational institutions, and they're talking about a diversity commission in employment. Mix them together, that's a proper Wild West woke agenda. And now he's talking about top 200 groups. What does it mean? Private sector reservations. But are we looking at private sector reservations only for the marginalized? Absolutely not.
No.
Rahul Gandhi also spoke in the Georgetown interaction that when the system becomes fair, we don't know what his definition of fair is, what the filter will be used to see that fairness. Will it be money? Will it be income? Will it be generational wealth? We don't know. It's ambiguous. It's totally dependent on Rahul Gandhi's interpretation. He said, we'll abolish reservations. However, Rahul Gandhi also says, jitni abadi utna haq. So my question then, Kushal, is, are we looking at a point where Rahul Gandhi will say, okay, if there are 100 people, there are 2 of certain caste, 3 of certain caste, 0.5 of certain caste. He divides the 80% Hindus on those lines. The Jains, Sikhs, and Buddhists or Parsis or Christians are too small, maybe 1 seat each. But then let's have 20% seat reserved for the 20% population, which is the second largest majority. Are we moving towards that in the public and private sector?
We are.
Because
somebody should ask him openly, does he support reservation of Muslims?
And before someone says, I am jumping the gun, Congress's alliance partners, RJD, in Bihar, one of the politically most active states in India, he batted for religious-based reservations. Congress, in their final years of UPA2, batted for religious-based reservations. So what we are saying right now is not theory. It's not imagination. It's not fiction. It's not a potential problem. It's a real problem. You mix the cocktail, Kushal, of jitni abadi utna haq, and a fair system will leave no room for reservations and top 200 corporates. You're looking at religious-based reservations eventually in the private sector.
Yeah, and basically we are looking at the destruction of the entire Indian corporate story. This is, I mean, India is done. But irony of ironies, Tushar, irony of ironies, what was the Congress manifesto? Blast from the past, blast from the past. India could be your vote away from equality or bondage. Give equality a hand. Will your destiny be decided by your birth instead of your merit? Ayya, ye Congress ka flyer देखो, ये था कांग्रेस का flyer, ladies and gentlemen. This was a Congress flyer. Isn't it fascinating?
Yeah, Rahul Gandhi खुद 2010 तक कह रहा था, I don't believe in caste, I believe in opportunities. क्या हुआ? बदला क्या तब से?
नहीं,
the Hindu vote consolidated.
But and Hindu vote did get consolidated. What did Nehru say? I do not like reservation in any form. अभी लोग बोलेंगे कि ये झूठ बोल रहा है. नहीं भाई, मैं पढ़ ही लेता हूँ. मैं screen share कर लेता हूँ before somebody accuses me. Nehru said, I do not like reservation in any form, especially reservation in jobs. I am against any such step that promotes inefficiency and takes us toward mediocrity. पंडित जवाहरलाल नेहरू ने बोला था ये. जी हाँ. He had said this to a reply to the chief ministers at that time. क्यों, क्या हो गया? This, बोलो ना, 27 June 1961, when Nehru expressed his reservations about the tradition of caste-based quotas and privileges. क्यों? अब क्या?
I think people must understand.
आगे, I want my country to be a first-class country in everything. The moment we encourage the second rate, we are lost. The recent meeting we held here to consider national integration laid down that help should be given on economic considerations and not on caste. These are all quotes of directly given quotes of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Then the Congress itself in a flyer says equality. And now, because they lost the Hindu vote, they will break and shatter everything in India. They will create rifts between Indian Hindus and Indian Sikhon ke beech mein, Indian Jaino और Indian Hinduओं के बीच में. जिधर जिधर मिला ये लोग कर देंगे.
Bhai, I want to I love simplifying stuff. People, the young ones, the ones who watch us every time, understand one simple thing, and this is the only politics you need to understand if you're a casual observer. Congress cannot come into power unless the Hindu vote is consolidated. The only way for the Congress to win 150 seats, they won't win more than that ever. That is why it's always going to be a coalition, as it was between 2004 and 14. The only way for the Congress to win 150 seats is if they break the Hindu vote, divide the majority, consolidate the minority. Now, unfortunately for the BJP, for the Indian voter who wants development, progress, and a strong macro economy, the minority vote is strongly consolidated behind the freebies of the Congress. It's a reality. That is why Rahul Gandhi is so desperate to divide the Hindu vote, and he saw it happening. He has tasted blood because in Uttar Pradesh, that is how voting was done. So all the trads, all the castes, all the Gandhian spine and Marxist in our hearts, whatever, understand if Rahul Gandhi votes if Rahul Gandhi, sort of conducts his election as you want him to, or as you want the Hindu society to conduct itself, you're looking at 150 seats for the Congress. They came at 99 this time. And you're looking at decimation of the Hindu society as a whole. वो उनको समझ नहीं आएगा. मैं फिर बार बार वही कह रहा हूं, हिंदू वोट को बांटो, माइनॉरिटी वोट को साथ लेके चलो. कांग्रेस की 150 सीट पक्की हैं. They'll trust the DMK, the TMC, the RJD, the SAPA, a few parties, smaller ones here and there, say NCP, and they'll be sorted. India will not be sorted.
Oh yes, India will be destroyed.
And that is why the caste census is so important, ना. आज caste census है, कल reservations होगा. अच्छा, एक बात बताओ. Let's assume reservations एक सेकंड के लिए बढ़ जाती हैं. 50% से कवर हटके 60 हो जाता है, 75 हो जाता है, 80 हो जाता है. आपको लगता है कांग्रेस 80% reservations पे कहोगी, okay, we are happy, this is social justice? Are you kidding me? Even if, and I'm repeating, even if the reservation in public sector goes to 80%, the Congress will ensure that Hindu groups and communities on caste lines are at war with each other for the greater share in the pie. That is the India he imagines. But for some reason, our fellow ranters, our fellow analysts, observers, they don't understand this one simple law of politics in India, that the Hindu vote needs to be consolidated. Else, why? Why the youth icon of the 2000s, Shri Rahul Gandhi, who was saying, I don't believe in caste, I believe in equality, I believe in people, suddenly post 2023 rather, even not in 22, the caste census did not come in 22 elections, it came in 23, around the Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan elections. That is when you started hearing this Jitni Abadi Utna Haq. Why then? Because he saw that until 2022, which was a big election, the one in UP, Uttarakhand, Goa, he saw that the Hindu vote was undivided. It was voting for development. UP was voting for development. Kushal, think about this. UP voted for development 4 times. 2014, 2017, 2022, 2019, and then 2022. What happened in 24? And that's something for the BJP voters to also introspect, the ones who are very sort of careless on social media. It's not complicated, it's not rocket science, it's right in your face. Just read the tea leaves, smell the coffee.
No, what is even more scary is the man and his, his capacity for rubbish. He just, he says inanities. Like, he makes this accusation against the BJP. And listen, I've been critical of the BJP, and in India we have an authoritarian culture overall, but I want to use this as an example. Just listen to the rubbish here.
I think politics in India changed very dramatically in 2014. We entered a phase of politics that we haven't seen in India before. Aggressive, attacking the foundations of our democratic structure. And so it's a tough fight. It's been a good fight. And personally, of course, it has changed me. I wouldn't have ever imagined before 2014, if you had come to me and said, look, you walk across from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, I would have just laughed at you. And I would have said, that's ridiculous. But that was the only way left for the opposition in our country. Media was suppressed, institutions were controlled, agencies were attacking the opposition, governments were being overthrown. And we found that literally the only way was to go directly to the people of India.
Okay.
And that certainly changed me in fundamental ways.
So 3 points. First of all, he says media was controlled. And this person to his left, this is the National Press Club interaction. I don't know how much homework this woman had done. Nothing, right? Democracy has fundamentally changed in India. I'm going to keep her face on the screen right now. बहन, emergency के बारे में सवाल पूछ लेती थी तू?
This was the interaction where Rahul Gandhi said we are pushing for reservation in the assemblies and parliament. This woman clueless. I don't want to sound a little harsh or rude, but she couldn't sort of manage her own paperwork, the documents she was carrying, and she apologized twice. Very incompetent anchor because she had no questions. Absolutely.
क्या question? वो बोलता है सरकारें गिर रही हैं भाई, मतलब यार कोई बेशर्मी की हद होती है. कांग्रेस में गिरा के काउंट खत्म कर दिए सरकारों की.
The funniest thing was when she asked him about the US's emerging role in the future in conflicts of Gaza, Israel, Russia, Ukraine, and how does it, see US in the larger picture in the future. And Rahul Gandhi is like, but what about your production? How will you compete with China? Rahul Gandhi did not know that Americans have actually started moving the entire semiconductor supply chain back to the US. This anchor residing in the US, I presume, did not know. And even earlier today, Kamala Harris, when she was doing that with Trump, even she did not know that the entire chain was being moved back to the US with a huge subsidy program. It's just a hallmark of people who are unread. That's all. And एक ना नीचे एक आदमी लिख रहा है कि probably because we keep talking about this caste census and how they want to divide the majority Hindu vote, it's a propaganda that Hindu खतरे में है. बॉस तुम्हें लगता है अगर हिंदू खतरे में नहीं है, कश्मीर देख लो, बंगाल देख लो, असम में देख लो क्या हो रहा है, केरला में देख लो क्या हो रहा है, यूपी की कुछ पॉकेट्स में देख लो क्या हो रहा है, 2013 के दंगों में देख लो क्या हुआ था, अभी नवरात्रों में वो निकलेंगे प्रोसेशंस, देख लेना क्या हो रहा है. गुजरात में अभी 2 दिन पहले सूरत में एक गणपति जी का पंडाल था, उस पर पत्थर मारे गए. यूपी में अयोध्या में से जो सीट जीते थे फैजाबाद लोकसभा कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी से, a close associate of that person, Avdesh Prasad, was involved, accused in a rape case. You saw how that entire thing was handled.
Yes.
Kharge today said, and it's a comment that's going viral on the primetime news, that 20 more seats for the opposition and the BJP would have been in jail. You think they would have put Prime Minister Narendra Modi in jail or Amit Shah in jail? No. They would have put people like me and Kushal in jail.
Oh, definitely.
Staunch Hindu voters who just want the betterment of India.
Yeah.
So people probably do not understand because, again, they're casual observers. I'm not dismissing them. I'm not blaming them. But understand, nothing is happening in isolation in India or anywhere in the world for that matter.
No, absolutely. And what bothers me the most about this entire shit show is that, yaar, कुछ तो शर्म करो, मतलब कुछ भी बोलना, कुछ भी कहना, जो मन में आया कर देना, जैसे मन में आया कर देना. I mean, जैसे जो मन में आया कुछ भी कर देना. I mean, I don't know if you see, there has to be some level of honesty, right? That we have in our political discourse. Like I want to really play this, right? I want to play this. This is, and I think of all the 3 anchors, right? Somebody might think that Edward Luce was the worst. No, I think Edward Luce was not the worst. Tushar, seriously, I think the worst anchor was this guy in his first one. I think ये Washington DC में जो students का हुआ था ना, ये आदमी जो है ना, वो जब वो देवता की एक्सप्लेनेशन दे रहा था, ये भाई इसको कुछ समझ में नहीं आया। ये मालूम है कैसा था, मैं तेरे को बताता हूँ। अपन वो जो शायरी मुशायरों में जाते हैं ना, 90% लोगों को कुछ समझ में नहीं आता है वो शेर क्या बोल रहे है। तो ऐसा वो शेर सुनाता है और सडनली बीच में एक उठता है, बाबा बाबा बाबा, वो आदमी था, ये आदमी वो था, इसको कुछ समझ में नहीं आया, मगर सुन के बहुत अच्छा लगा, मगर वो मेरे को बात नहीं करनी है। दिस इज अ सीरियस एक्यूजेशन ऑन द आरएसएस एंड बीजेपी एंड आई वांट टू टेक दिस हेड ऑन। देख, बीजेपी को गाली दे, मेरे को कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है। आरएसएस को जब कोई अक्यूज करे ना, एक तो आरएसएस इसको सू नहीं करती है, वो आरएसएस की सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है। ये सुनो क्या बोलता है।
It starts with, sorry, but it starts with a bad attitude that Indian males have towards women. And I don't mean every single Indian male, but a large number of Indian males' attitudes towards women is just, it's ridiculous.
He's right here.
So it starts there. And it's a particular way of thinking about women. And we see it, we see it in the political system, we see it in the business system, we see it everywhere. So I'm very big, number one, on political participation of women. Reservation bill to start with, ensuring that women get into business, ensuring that women are supported financially if they want to open their business, and then making sure that it is made easier for women to participate, right? Women have their own particular issues that you need to take care of before they can start to participate. So I think the first thing is of thinking of women the same way you think of men, right? That they can do anything men can do, if not better, and that they are equal and better in many, many things. Yeah. Also, by the way, this is part of the ideological fight between the BJP and us, right? The BJP and the RSS believe that women should be restricted to a particular role. They should stay at home, they should cook the food, they should not talk too much, right? And we believe that women should be allowed to aspire to whatever they want to do.
He says the BJP and the RSS believe women want to do. Now we can laugh it off, but which is why I am going back to the point. ये आदमी पप्पू नहीं है, ये आदमी पप्पू के साथ पापी भी है. And I will rebut this with technicalities. Point number 1, labor force participation, female percentage rate, ठीक है, ये भारत है 2012 में, ठीक है, ये पूरी हमारा इतिहास है. हाँ तुषार, 91 से है ये देख ले भाई, ये हम इधर झूल रहे हैं, जो भी झूल रहे हैं हम, ठीक है. भारत में 2007 गिरना शुरू हुआ. ये किसकी सरकार थी तुषार 2009 में?
कुदरती सरकार, कुदरती कोalition.
2011 में 28, 2012 में 27, 2013 में 27, ठीक है. और देख अभी कैसे मैं बोलता हूं ना, मोदी ने भी काम नहीं किया, गिरी और फिर बढ़ना शुरू हो जाती है. ये देख, इट रिमेन्स स्टिल. और देख अभी सडनली मोदी की सरकार, अभी लास्ट 4 साल में कितनी फीमेल पार्टिसिपेशन. सो मोदी की सरकार में 6% फीमेल पार्टिसिपेशन इन वर्क बढ़ी है. डेटा ये कहता है, मगर ये टुच्चा ये जाके झूठ बोलता है उधर, और उसके बाजू में वो मुशायरे में बैठा हुआ पोपट, वाह सर वाह, क्या शेर सुनाए है सर, आधा वर्ज है सर, आपकी शायरी तो कमाल है सर, कमाल करती है, वाह वाह वाह.
So you are looking at 6 percentage point increase, which essentially is a 25% increase in labor force participation. More importantly, if you go back to that clip, Rahul Gandhi says, I want to start a program where women, if they want to start a business, we help them with capital.
Yes.
Congress will cheer him up. भाई 2016 से मुद्रा program चल रहा है. More than 30 crore loans have been given just to women. Loans ranging from 50,000 to 10 lakh before 24, and now the upper limit is to 20 lakh. 30 crore loans. And probably that is what, Kushal, you are seeing in that labor force. Because a lot of women are now running their home businesses, in the sense some will run a boutique, some will run a salon shop, some will run a food business, things like that. But they're participating, they're becoming taxpayers. Rahul Gandhi says, I want to do something for the women in terms of their finances. What was his idea during the elections? मैं सब महिलाओं को साल का 1 लाख रुपया दूंगा, वो उससे सिलाई मशीन लेंगी. सिलाई मशीन क्यों कह रहा हूं मैं? क्योंकि उन्होंने ऐड बनाई थी कि एक डिप्लीटेड सी लेन में, एक डिप्लीटेड से हाउस में, एक डिप्लीटेड सी कंडीशन में एक महिला होती है, उसको सिलाई मशीन मिलती है, एंड शी इज हैप्पी. That is the bar they had set for the women, the rural women. What is this government doing? Lakpati Didis. You run in self-help group, you participate in an FPO, you make rupees 1 lakh annually. We've created 1 crore such women across India. We'll create 2 crore more. This was the promise of Narendra Modi. Number 3, let's say some women gets missed out in the Mudra program also, and in the SHG coverage also. There is a Stand Up India scheme where they're looking out for women borrowers across bank branches. इतना माइक्रो चला गया, इसको इसका नहीं पता. फिर बोलता है रिजर्वेशन ऑफ वुमेन इन द पार्लियामेंट. यस, पिछले सितंबर में बिल पास हुआ. तेरी खुद की पार्टी ने क्रेडिट लिया था कि राजीव गांधी जी की सोच थी, सोनिया गांधी जी का सपना था, पर हमने कुछ किया नहीं. थैंक यू आपने कर दिया, पर क्रेडिट हमें दे दो, हम पे दया खाओ. इसको खुद ही नहीं पता भाई, अपनी पार्टी का जो हरकत है वो नहीं पता. Lastly, if I were the anchor, now even at the risk of losing my job, I would have said, Rahul Gandhi, a lot of talk about women, a lot of talk about how men view them. Why wasn't Priyanka Gandhi given that ticket from Amethi or Raebareli when it was pretty much clear in the media that she wanted to contest one of those 2 seats? Why was she shunned during the Lok Sabha elections? What does it say about you as a brother, about your family, about your party? Obviously, कौन पूछेगा ना? कोई जर्नलिस्ट भी नहीं पूछेगा.
सारे क्वेश्चन पूछने हैं. और राहुल गांधी, ठीक है, उनका मैनिफेस्टो अभी क्या कितनी बार खोले हैं? मैनिफेस्टो इज क्लियर, वो छोड़ दो. राहुल गांधी की पार्टी, ठीक है, will scrap triple talaq law if we come back to power, says Congress leader. No, this is not enough. अभी तो पार्टी शुरू हुई है. ये शरिया लॉ को सबसे बड़ा सपोर्ट. कांग्रेस vehemently opposed to uniform civil code, says Satishan. UCC is not practical as there are several tribes and communities within each individual, including Hinduism. Basically, this is a sorry excuse. They want women to remain second-class citizens in India. So to say Modi and RSS are opposed and these guys support, and that घटिया questioner जो मुशायरे में बैठ के शाबाश साहब क्या शेर सुनाए है सर कर रहा था ना, ये सबसे घटिया. ये लोग हैं भारत के दुश्मन. क्यों? मैं बताता हूं. इन सब लोगों को कांग्रेस इकोसिस्टम ने नौकरियां दिलाई है लास्ट 70 सालों में, दुनिया के हर कोने में. अरे तुम लोग पलते हो टुकड़ों पे डायनेस्टी के और बोलते हो औरतों को बीजेपी आरएसएस करती है. कुछ तो शर्म करो. वाहियात लोग हैं यार. और फिर बोलते कुशल मेहरा गाली क्यों देता है? नहीं, तुम्हारी पूजा करूं मैं? इनकी क्या करें हम लोग? इनकी आरती उतारे हम लोग? ऐसे तो लोग पैदा हो गए पागल जय. Seriously, I mean, it's mind-numbing what this man says. I mean, the things he says,
one thing is we disagree with him. One thing is that he doesn't make sense. What to do with a person that is unaware about what his own party is doing? I understand he doesn't know about government policies. I understand he doesn't know about government initiatives. I understand he doesn't know about the women in the rural areas who have been benefiting for the last 10 years. I understand all of it. What I don't understand is Rahul Gandhi has forgotten that a bill was converted into an act a year ago for which his party was claiming credit, saying that Rahul Gandhi's father envisioned it in the first place. Acha, tum women ki baat kar rahe ho na? What did you do about toilets in 70 years? Bank accounts. I'll tell you a story not many people know. In January 2014, 2 months before the general elections, UPA's final weeks, they discontinued the DBT program for LPG subsidies, which would have benefited women across India. Why? They were worried there would be electoral backlash on the ground because the black marketing of cylinders would stop. So when Congress sort of bats for women, I'll tell you one crude fact, and people can sort of voice their opinion upon this in the comments. An empowered, self-reliant woman, or any woman with even an iota of self-respect for herself and her family and her loved ones, will never vote for the Congress. Never.
Definitely will never vote for the Congress. Anybody who has an ounce of self-respect, ounce, I'm sorry, you just can't vote for this political outfit. And the greatest moment was वो भाई वो हमारा ये India Alliance. I mean, यार ये क्यों, मतलब यार ये आदमी भाई क्यों पैदा हुआ है यार? मेरे को सच्ची तू मेरे को बात बता, मतलब तू और मैं क्या हम गधे हैं? हम लोग मतलब जब ये आदमी लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन हो जाता है तो मैं और तू क्यों काम कर रहे हैं यार?
Yeah, well, you and I don't have generational wealth, so suck up.
नहीं मतलब मेरे को कई बार लगता है कि मतलब हम लोग यार, मतलब उसको एक स्टूडेंट बोल रहा है भाई तेरी अलायंस ये है, नहीं हम ऐसा नहीं है, नहीं हम वैसा नहीं है, यार मतलब क्यों हम लोग क्यों पैदा हो गए? मेरे को तो सच्ची में कई बार लगता है कि पैदा ही क्यों हो गया हूँ।
एक चीज, the people outside are also unaware. I mean, all these ignorant people who are interviewing him. The India Alliance no longer exists. TMC is out. Aam Aadmi Party is out. RJD is nowhere to be seen. शिव सेना का पता नहीं चल रहा क्या चल रहा है, ठीक है, किसके साथ है सिलेक्शन में, because they're still unable to figure out the CM face. What India Alliance?
नहीं वो क्लिप तो बजानी पड़ेगी, मतलब this is peak पप्पूनेस, मतलब this was peak पप्पू moment, and I highly condemn my friend Abhijit Iyer Mitra for sharing this clip. Abhijit, bad boy. ये सुनो ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Gandhi, you lead the Indie Alliance, which is seen by many as an alternative to the BJP-led NDA government. Looking at the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, your party was not able to agree on seat-sharing policies with your alliance partner, which was Mamata Banerjee's TMC. You also have alliance partners like the Hindutva-based Shiv Sena UBT. My question is, if elected, how will you effectively run a government with such a divided coalition that cannot seem to agree on anything except for the removal of Prime Minister Modi?
No, actually, we agree on a lot. Sorry, it's not India Alliance. That's a BJP framing. It's India Alliance.
What does the last word stand for? What does the A stand for? It'd be redundant to say India Alliance.
No, it's not. It's not, because the whole idea of the alliance.
Even Edward Luce is like, यार मैं कितना चाटूं इसकी?
Put across to the people.
इतना मैं नहीं चाट सकता हूँ, माना मैं भी dynastic puppet हूँ.
You know, the most interesting part of this clip is his body language, how it suddenly changes.
Yeah.
It's suddenly very,
script गए, मर गया.
Vengeful of sorts, that, how dare you ask me this question? How dare you mock me? And one thing I'm telling you, anyone who's moving very, very vigorously in a public meeting like this, they're hell nervous.
Yeah.
And he's always nodding vigorously or moving his body in a very wayward manner in every public appearance. But this was a body language, common sense / I don't know, appearance disaster.
No, it is a clear disaster that this is his peak Pappu moment, because he doesn't know what actually happens. He clearly has no clue as to what his own members are, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why is because he doesn't know anything. He doesn't know anything.
Can I tell you a missed opportunity? I wish someone had asked him about the full form of India also. He wouldn't have been able to answer. I bet everything. उसको नहीं पता होता. That's a missed opportunity.
And it's wonderful. And I have to play this clip also because, I mean, पीक जिसको बोलते हैं ना बेशर्मी, पीक बेशर्मी करनी है तो इनसे सीखो. बीजेपी शर्म में मर गई. अभी ये बेशर्म को सुनो, इसको जो क्वेश्चन पूछा, पहली बात जो पूछ रहा है प्रश्न वो भी गांजा मारा हुआ है कि उसको नहीं मालूम इंडिया में क्या हो रहा है, और ये भी गांजा मारा हुआ है, ये तो पता नहीं क्या करता है. ये सुनो.
Hello, Mr. Gandhi. Welcome to the Hilltop over here. My name is Nikash Harpanhalli. I am from Dallas, Texas, and I'm gay and Indian American. Last October, the Indian Supreme Court refused to legalize same-sex marriage. So my question for you, as well as Congress, as well as the India Alliance, is what is the future for Congress's policy towards gender and sexual minorities on the subject of love? What might that future look like in the next 4 years as BJP government continues? And on that same subject, what is the role of Congress and other interlocutors in promoting a freer, fair, and more loving India?
I think I can't really comment on a Supreme Court judgment. But what I said earlier, from our perspective, what you want to do, how you want to live your life, what religion you want to follow, what you want to wear, what your sexual preferences are, is your business. It's not our business. And for us, we would defend your right and everybody else's rights to express themselves and to live in a way they think fair. As long as you're not disturbing other people, being violent, being aggressive, we tend to accept it.
Thank you. Welcome to Georgetown.
Thank you.
भाई मतलब देख, या तो मैं चमन हूँ, मतलब या तो मतलब क्या हो रहा है? अच्छा, दिस इज ठीक है. कभी थी वो चेन्नई हाईकोर्ट की जजमेंट भाई, जिसने गे सेक्स को डीक्रिमिनलाइज किया था, चेन्नई हाईकोर्ट जजमेंट. देन वो केस सुप्रीम कोर्ट में गया. तभी सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने देन यूपीए गवर्नमेंट को चिट्ठी लिखी थी कि भाई आपकी क्या टिप्पणी है.
This was around 2013 when the entire issue had boiled up.
Yeah. 2013 में गवर्नमेंट ने अपोज किया था कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने बोला था कि गे सेक्स को डीक्रिमिनलाइज नहीं करना है. ये 2013 में हुआ था, ठीक है. उसके बाद ये 2013 का था. ये मुझे याद है जब हुआ था कि इंडियन कोर्ट्स ने गे सेक्स को डीक्रिमिनलाइज कर दिया था. एंड इट्स वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग, क्योंकि ये लोगों को पता नहीं है ये कहानियां. लोगों को मालूम नहीं है कि एक्चुअली में हाथी के दांत खाने के और दिखाने के और होते हैं. ये 2013 की रिपोर्ट थी. The ruling by India Supreme Court on 2013 that same-sex conduct between consulting adults remained a criminal offense remains a setback to the lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans. The court reversed a landmark 2009 Delhi High Court decision by a colonial era law. The Indian government should immediately seek to decriminalize adult consensual same-sex relations. Blah, 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 blah. What people don't remember is that in 2012, the Attorney General told the Supreme Court that the government found no legal error in the High Court decision and accepted it. बाद में जब Supreme Court ने उनको लिखा, the same government opposed it. The same government opposed it. This is the beauty of this country. And then in 2018, when Indian court legalizes gay sex in a landmark ruling, who was in power? The BJP was in power. The same Supreme Court again wrote a letter to the BJP government. What did the BJP government say? Okay, कर दो. So this is fascinating कि मतलब ये आदमी, इसकी पार्टी, and what people don't understand is why does the Congress behave the way it behaves? Because, and this is a sociological understanding. For Hindus, homosexuality is not a problem even from a religious perspective.
Correct.
Homosexuality is a problem from an Abrahamic perspective. So it is the Muslims and the Christians, it is the mosque and the church that constantly goes after their life. We don't, which is why the BJP is like, Sanu ki jo karna hai kar leo. The BJP doesn't oppose it because BJP ka vote base doesn't get bothered by it. And what is fascinating and I'm glad there are handles like, Yes, there is a queer Hindu alliance, by the way, for people who don't know. There is a queer Hindu alliance, and they did a detailed thread on this. अंकित भुप्तानी ने मेरे साथ ये शेयर किया था कि LGBT policy updates, ration cards for queer couple holders, yes, under Modi, joint bank accounts under Modi, healthcare advancements under Modi. ये क्वियर हिंदू अलायंस है, ये इनका थ्रेड है, जाके पढ़ लो और कुछ तो शर्म कर लो. ये पीआईबी की प्रेस रिलीज है. और यार झूठ बोलने की भी हद होती है यार, मतलब सुखा झूठ बोलते हैं लोग. अच्छा, जो क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है वो भी वाहियात, जो आंसर दे रहा है वो भी वाहियात, और जो इंटरलॉक्यूटर है वो टुच्चा एडवर्ड लूस, वो भी वाहियात.
यार वही हमने पिछले पॉडकास्ट में बात करी ना, जब डिस्कोर्स पे बात कर रहे थे कि कांग्रेस का प्लान ही यही है. उनके देख अपने आइडियाज तो है नहीं कुछ. एक चीज तो हमें समझ आ गई, दे हैव नो ओरिजिनल आइडियाज, नो ओरिजिनल प्लान फॉर द कंट्री. यू आस्क देम व्हाट इज योर प्लान फॉर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, कास्ट सेंसस. यू आस्क देम व्हाट इज द प्लान फॉर सर्विसेज, कास्ट सेंसस. यू आस्क देम व्हाट इज द प्लान फॉर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. भैया इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में कास्ट सेंसस हो रहा है. कांग्रेस, राहुल गांधी वाज सेइंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कंपनीज इट्स ऑल अपर कास्ट. आई डोंट नो व्हाट दैट मींस, राइट? But anything you ask them, caste census, as we've already discussed, is a way for them to get to power. So now, with their new IT cell, which has a head who's formerly a journalist, their game is very simple. They're going to throw out voluminous content every day, okay, and expect some of the lies to stick, as it did in 2024 with the case of reservation, the fake edited video. तो इनका प्लान ही भाई यही है, beat the BJP at the volume game, which is why we discussed in the last podcast that how the BJP needs to own up the prime time and all that. Different aspect, but that is what Congress is trying to do. They'll lie. They'll shamelessly lie. I'm telling the people up front, this is going to happen for the next 4 years. Trust me, next 4 years we also think, अभी जनधन के 10 साल हुए थे पीछे, ठीक है? चिदम्बरम is claiming credit. Can you believe the irony? Chidambaram taking credit for Jandhan. And people, see, that's the problem, Kushal. People don't know. Abhi mudra aega, they'll take credit. Anything that will complete 10 years, they'll take credit. And you give 10 years to the Congress. Unfortunately, if that happens for the country, economic decimation to baat ki baat hai. They'll whitewash the last 10-year history completely, be it the economic policies or the
It's just terrible. I'm just shocked at the level of incompetence of our discourse, that there is a barrage of lies that are thrown at at a daily basis, and you just have to go on countering it. Counter करके आदमी थक जाएगा कि कितना काउंटर करूं. मतलब मैं काउंटर करके आदमी को लगेगा कि मैं काउंटर करके ही मर गया. मतलब it's unbelievable. Tushar, by the way, I was just tagged on social media. I know you have to go, but I think before you go, you should actually, I mean, I don't know, I have to verify the veracity of this, but somebody, आज की ताजा खबर, has put this. The Sikh guy whose name Rahul Gandhi asked before saying Sikhs aren't allowed to wear turban or kada in India has something to say to Rahul Gandhi. So I don't know. This is News 18 India. I know you have to go. इसके लिए मैं तेरे को जाने के पहले सिर्फ ये क्लिप सुना के भेजना चाहता हूँ. So very interesting. ये सुन, 3 मिनट की क्लिप है हिंदी में.
और इस बीच न्यूज़ 18 इंडिया आपको उस शख्स का बयान भी दिखाने जा रहा है जिनका नाम पूछकर राहुल गांधी ने सिखों को लेकर पगड़ी और कड़े को लेकर बयान दिया था.
नाम पूछा और मेरे नाम सुनने के बाद उन्होंने कहा कि सिखों को हिंदुस्तान में, जी हां, भारत में आजादी नहीं है. ना तो वो पगड़ी पहन के गुरुद्वारों में जा सकते हैं, ना वो कड़ा पहन के जा सकते हैं. इस तरह की कई और बातें उन्होंने, कड़वी बातें कही. लेकिन उनका ये मानना था कि भारत में जो धार्मिक चिन्ह हैं उन पर आजादी नहीं है, पहनने पर आजादी नहीं है, जो कि बिल्कुल गलत है. ये सवाल मैं उनसे करना भी चाहता था कि राहुल गांधी जी, आप ऐसा क्यों बोल रहे हैं? क्योंकि मैं भारत से ही बिलोंग करता हूं. यहां तो मैं सिर्फ कुछ समय के लिए आया हुआ हूं भारत से, लेकिन जब मैं भारत में होता हूं तो मुझे कभी भी ऐसी कोई प्रॉब्लम फेस नहीं करनी पड़ी। मैं गुरुद्वारों में भी जाता हूं, लोगों से भी मिलता हूं। सिर्फ सिखों की बात नहीं है, किसी भी धर्म के लोगों को भारत में कभी भी कोई परेशानी नहीं आई है। आजकल के नौजवान बहुत सतर्क हैं, बहुत समझदार हैं, और आजकल के लोग जो हैं बहुत समझदार हैं, क्योंकि अगर कोई भी ऐसी छोटी से छोटी बात भी आती है तो वो सोशल मीडिया में बवाल मच जाता है। अगर ऐसा कुछ होता भारत में कि अगर हमें पगड़ी पहनने पे कोई मनाही होती, या फिर कड़ा पहनने में कोई मनाही होती, या फिर किसी और तरीके से किसी और धर्म के लोगों को कोई मनाही होती, उनको उनके जो धार्मिक चिन्ह हैं उन पे कोई रोक लगाई गई होती, तो जरूर वो सोशल मीडिया के जरिए हम सब तक पहुंचती। मैं आपको बता दूं, बतौर एज ए जर्नलिस्ट हमें जरूर कहा जाता है कि हम फ्रंट रो में बैठें और जो लोग बोल रहे होते हैं, संबोधन कर रहे होते हैं, उनको सुने और फिर उनके ऊपर अपनी टिप्पणियां दें। बतौर जर्नलिस्ट हम अपनी रिपोर्ट आम लोगों के सामने पेश करें। तो उसी ही हिस्से के दौरान मैं सबसे फ्रंट रो में बैठा था और राहुल गांधी जी ने मेरी तरफ देखा, और मेरी तरफ देखने के बाद उन्होंने जो सिखों के ऊपर बयान दिया, उससे सिख समुदाय में काफी ठेस पहुंची है। और मैं खुद एक सिख शख्स होने के नाते, क्योंकि मेरा जन्म अब सिख समाज में हुआ है, तो मुझे जरूर इस जो कम्युनिटी का पालन करना है, जो अपने चिन्ह हैं उनका पालन करना है, और मैं बखूबी कर भी रहा हूं।
और इससे
बोलो, और जिस बंदे नु क्या सी ओ बंदा कहंदा की बोली जांदा है। ओ मान गए गुरु, ओए राहुल गांधी तेनू मान गया मैं यार। ओ भाई ओ मैं क्या पाजी कहते रहेगा सुषमा निकलिया।
वही तो मैं कह रहा हूँ, every Sikh will suddenly say who is he to represent me or say anything for me. But I'll leave you with that one final thought, because I have a very sketchy internet for some reason.
Yeah.
People keep saying what should the narrative for the BJP be, क्या करे BJP, फंस गई, ठीक है। My simple idea is let Rahul Gandhi speak. Let him speak.
Oh man, it's just insane. I don't know. I know you're frozen against Tushar, but that I think we Tushar ended his thing at a perfect note where he said, "Let Rahul Gandhi speak." But while I agree with Tushar, and I will continue this podcast further now all alone, because Tushar has to go and his internet is very choppy. It's okay, Tushar. Tu nikal. Yeah, I can hear you now, but you're very choppy, Tushar. So I understand you have to leave. It's okay, tu nikal bhai. Baki main sambhal lunga. I'll still continue speaking. Your internet is very choppy. Tu nikal. It's okay. I'll take care of the podcast from here now, because I still have many things to say to the people, because साला मैं इतना टॉर्चर हुआ इस बंदे के बकवास को सुन के। ये 3 वीडियोस जो मैंने सुने, मैं तो पूरा मतलब I am just in a state of shock that there are people like Rahul Gandhi that exist in our discourse. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll answer all your super chats too. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, Tushar's internet is extremely choppy, so he has to leave. And so there was another very interesting moment in our discussion where I there are certain moments in that discussion where I also want to talk about the mindset of the people who go there and ask questions to Rahul Gandhi. I mean, it's mind blowing where there was this lady, Dr. Mehrotra, in one of the discussions where she uses the analogy of two Indias, where there is one class that is prospering, the other that is not. I mean, if I was in the space of Dr. Mehrotra, and this is, I think this video is his University of Texas, Dallas, Texas interaction. I wonder what Dr. Mehrotra did not think that, that man's party has governed India for 50 plus years. You did not ask him, Teri party ne kya kiya? And she actually had the gall to, do chatukarita on steroids. Like, my question is to Dr. Mehrotra, because they announced her name in the video. It's a wonderful moment of that, and it's just fascinating. And few other observations where There was another moment. This was from the University of Texas moment where somebody asked him, what is his vision for creating growth in the manufacturing industry? And I'm not making this up. He literally says, what I think is not that important. What matters is what a large mass of Indians think. Bhai, if what a large mass of Indians thinks is important, theek hai, sab samajh pad gaya. Bhai, you are a member of parliament. Your job is to legislate. If you do not have an opinion on any kind of legislation, what are you going to do? Then somebody asked him a question on the state of education in India, to which he answers, India has a skill respect problem. Verbatim quotes, huh? Again, University of Texas. I don't understand what is happening. I don't get it. But to me, the greatest moment of this entire bit was when, the actual person who introduced him, who introduced Rahul Gandhi, it was such a momentous occasion where I have to show this as a blooper. So watch this. I'm sharing directly from Rahul Gandhi's introduction in the University of Texas. भाई ये तू ले रहा है राहुल गांधी की प्रशंसा कर रहा है. Just listen to this.
I hope we are keeping you warm enough here in Dallas.
Yeah. बड़ी चाटी तूने.
Ralji, first of all, again, congratulations on becoming the leader of opposition.
भाई कौन man, who the hell congratulates someone for becoming the leader of opposition? Like, who the hell does it? कौन करता है? Who congratulates you on becoming the leader of opposition? भाई तू हारा, congratulations. Congratulations for losing. अबे तू ले रहा है उसकी की प्रशंसा कर रहा है. भाई कुछ तो शर्म कर. तू ले रहा है यार अपने बंदे की. It was so weird. I mean, and then obviously his entire explanation of Devta, I think it was around minute 15 or something. And just this moment was Chatukarita on steroids. This was Chatukarita on steroids. Just listen to this. मजा आ गया था. ये भाई ये ना just listen to this.
Destruction of the person taking place. And you can see this.
शक्ल देखो इसकी. भाई की शक्ल देखो.
In many of our leaders.
He is mesmerized.
And the reason it's happening is because the person is actually dying. And the voice of other people is taking over.
इसको मत सुनो.
Right? I don't know. I'll give you an example. Do you know what Devta means in the term Devta? Do you know what it means?
Yes.
No, it doesn't mean God.
तुम सब चूतिए हो. फिर मुझे मालूम है.
Deity. So Devta in India actually means a person whose internal feelings are exactly the same
इसको देखो.
as his external expression. Meaning he's a completely transparent being. Right? It does not mean God. So if this person tells me every single thing that he believes or he thinks, and he tells it to me, that's the definition of Devta. Right? It's the idea that you destroy yourself. Right? So to me, that is interesting about our politics. How do you suppress your own ideas? Right? How do you suppress your own fear, or how do you suppress your own greed, or how do you suppress your own ambition and absorb other people's fear, other people's ambition?
I think before we go to the next question, this needs a big round of applause. So
मतलब हद होती है यार. It deserves a round of applause. अबे वो क्या बोल रहा है उसको नहीं मालूम. तू क्या सुन रहा है तेरे को नहीं मालूम. सबका चालू है. You know what this reminded me of? This this moment. इससे अच्छा तो हमारा ये वाला स्वामी है, कैलाश में वाला. ये this was Rahul Gandhi's Nityanand movement. मतलब must. Me,
is only sitting as me in you. This two only is talking to each other. Understand, I can only talk to me and give my understanding. I cannot talk to anybody else and give my understanding. So the me resides in this as me, is residing in all of that as me. So that me, through this me, talking to me.
बोलो, देवता का मीनिंग ये नहीं था जो नित्यानंद और राहुल गांधी बोलता है, उसमें क्या डिफरेंस है? एग्जैक्टली यही था, एग्जैक्टली ये था। राहुल गांधी हमारे पॉलिटिक्स का नित्यानंद है, और वो आदमी जो राहुल गांधी के बाजू में बैठा है, सर वाह 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 सर, वाह सर, सर आपने तो ऐसी बात कर दी सर, सर इतनी ऊंची बात कर दी सर आपने, आप तो सर 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 ऑटोग्राफ प्लीज सर, सर प्लीज सर ऑटोग्राफ, सर मुझे ऑटोग्राफ दे दो, एक ऑटोग्राफ दे दो सर मेरे को प्लीज। ये मतलब इट इज अनबिलीवेबल। अच्छा, there was another moment in this very interesting interaction in the press club one, where he says women are better in positions of leadership than men. Bhai, then start by giving up your position to some woman in the party. ना, हमारे पप्पू पपेश्वर ने वो तो नहीं करना कभी, doesn't. अच्छा, बातें बड़ी बड़ी करता है। The first political party to actually start reservations for women in every single rank and file was the Bharatiya Janata Party. तभी तो कांग्रेस नहीं करती थी। मगर भाई कोई क्वेश्चन ही नहीं पूछता इनको, कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछता, कुछ भी नहीं। उसको क्वेश्चन पूछा कर्नाटका के बारे में, उसने पता नहीं कोई विशी वॉशी आंसर दे दिया जनरलिटीज का वो नेशनल प्रेस क्लब में, और मस्त जो मन में आया बक दिया, मुंह में आया हक दिया। बट आई वांट टू गिव हिम क्रेडिट आल्सो फॉर 2-3 थिंग्स बिफोर समबडी सेज कि मैंने सिर्फ राहुल गांधी बैशिंग की नहीं, मैं राहुल गांधी बैशिंग नहीं। I think in some occasions he even spoke sensibly. I want to show that also before somebody says कि नहीं कुशल तुम तो आए थे सिर्फ इसकी लेने के लिए, नहीं, मैं सिर्फ इसकी लेने के लिए नहीं आया हूं। So there are 2-3 moments where I want to appreciate हमारा साडा पप्पू। So these were the occasions where I think I have to appreciate him. At least उसका ब्रेन थोड़ा चला, मगर यार मान गए उस्ताद। So this was one such occasion. He tackled this well.
Persecution of minorities.
Yeah. Look,
freedom of press.
The fight for democracy in India is an Indian fight. It's, with all due respect, it's nothing to do with anybody else. It's our problem. And we'll take care of it. We'll fight, and we will make sure that the democracy is secure. However, it's important to understand that Indian democracy is more than just any normal democracy because of its size.
Achha.
And if you're talking about a democratic vision of the world, then Indian democracy has a large space in that vision. So I think it's important that the world sees Indian democracy as an asset, not just for India but for the rest of the world. Advising the United States on how they should deal with Mr. Modi is not my preserve. It's not my space.
Okay.
So credit to Rahul Gandhi. He did not take the bait where she openly asked him about US interference, blah blah blah. Ye wo. He did not take it, and I will give him credit. So the other credit I want to give him is in this particular instance. This was also is a space where I want to give him credit.
U.S. is scheduled for elections very, very soon. How do you think Trump and Harris will differ on India policy? And do you think one is better for India?
I don't think they'll differ very much on India policy. I don't know.
You don't?
I think on both sides, there's basic acceptance of the relationship between these two countries. So I don't think we'll differ very much from Mr. Modi on this issue. And I don't think the Democrats or the Republicans will differ very much. I might be completely wrong.
US is scheduled for elections very, very.
So basically, this is a short clip, but he what he tried to say is that we don't disagree with Mr. Modi's policy in the United States of America and all of that stuff. And credit where it's due. He was mature for a change. but this is something. Now I want to go back to my philosophical disagreements with how he presents many issues. It's actually very dangerous because he's a moral relativist. That's my problem. So I'll play this clip.
India is pretty smart at doing these type of things. I mean, we can maneuver. I'm confident about that. But it's important that to do this properly, you have to have a very good sense of who you are and what your own nature is.
Right.
And that's where I don't agree with the current dispensation. When you imagine yourself to be something you're not, that's when the problems come, right? India is a very plural country. India is an open country. India is not one idea. India is multiple ideas. And when you imagine yourself to be something you're not, that's when all your strategic problems start.
So I've just gotten a bunch.
I mean, we are weakening our biggest asset, right? Our biggest strategic asset, India's biggest strategic asset, which is our democracy, which is just not India's asset. It is the world's asset because it's so big. It's a global public good. It's being attacked in India, right? And that is the foundation. That's the foundation of all our.
So on a very serious note, when people like Rahul Gandhi, they start saying things like, "Oh, India is multiple ideas," it sounds very good, but it's very dangerous. And it is this very ideology that Rahul Gandhi actually believes in, and the Congress believes in, that lets them say Muslim women can be subjugated under Sharia law. It lets them say the Catholic laws remain, divorce laws, which are the most atrocious laws in India when it comes to divorce, remain the way they are. Parsi women keep struggling in India because of the lack of uniform civil code. It is because of this. It is because of Rahul Gandhi's moral relativism that all these things happen in India. So try and understand where he is coming from. He's a very dangerous man. It is fine to say India is multiple ideas. Yes, Hinduism is multiple ideas. But just because you have multiple ideas doesn't mean all ideas are equal. That is the problem. And Rahul Gandhi never says that. Rahul Gandhi always falls short of that very critical moment, which is why I say, before I take all your questions, today we went through an entire gamut of what Rahul Gandhi was trying to say in 3 different speeches. Once again, I will repeat, I found that a lot of the bit of the speech to be repetitive, a bit of this, a bit of that, thoda idhar, thoda udhar. If you you don't need to watch all 3, to be very honest, to get an idea. He loves carpets in Muradabad very clearly. And when I was going through this, I realized how dangerous this man is and his thinking is. So the BJP's biggest mistake was they thought calling him a Pappu works. So they kept on milking the Pappu thing. He might be a Pappu. He's clearly not that bright. He has memorized a few lines. He goes across and he keeps talking about them ad infinitum. No matter what the question is, he just gives a different answer. That's what he was doing, run through them. If there was a good questioner on the other side, they would have exposed him. That's all it is. If anybody would have asked him a counter question, he would have been exposed. He just has these things, memorized. Like he gets up in the morning, I will do this, I will do this. And he just goes. So that's where the Pappu comes in. But the problem is the things he espouses. That's what makes him a Papi. This is an evil man. I say this with full responsibility. He is bad news for India. See, if he was just a Pappu, it was bad. If he was just a Papi, it was bad. I think he's a Pappu who is a Papi. That is the worst possible combination our country can ever dream of. A man who has evil intentions, who's not even smart enough to realize how evil his intentions are. A man who thinks he is so entitled that if he does not become the Prime Minister of India, he will destroy the country. He will destroy the country. I have had great conversations with multiple Congress people. I can name many congressmen who are smart and suave. I hope, and I can't pray, but I hope if the Congress comes to power, this man is not made the Prime Minister of India. Manish Tiwari ko bana do, Chidambaram ko bana do, ek baar chalega. Isko mat banao. The man has no capacity to understand policy making. When somebody asked him about skills development and the example he gave for vocational training, I think it was the University of Texas. I don't remember which one it was. It was ridiculous. He clearly has not worked as a leader at any serious policy level. Even when UPA 1 and UPA 2 was there, he was no minister of any serious thing. He was just sitting outside governing things. भाई कभी मिनिस्ट्री चलाई है, कभी कोई गवर्नेंस एक्सपीरियंस है, कभी कोई पॉलिसी डॉक्यूमेंट पढ़ा है इसने? I have met congressmen who will never say this on the record, who tell me off the record that this man cannot listen to anything for more than 2 minutes. You can say many things about many congressmen, but they are suave leaders who understand policy making. This man doesn't. And if this man is leading the country, we are in for some bad news. Narendra Modi also has fixed interviews. Match fixing hoti hogi. But I can assure you, the man understands policy making. Chidambaram understands policy making. Manish Tiwari understands policy making. There are many people in this country who understand policy making. Ashok Gehlot understands policy making. Rahul Gandhi understands nothing. He only understands one thing. I am a Gandhi, I am entitled, mere ko sab sunenge. Tum log mere subjects ho. Main tumko bachayega. That is the most dangerous man to govern a country. Because he thinks this country is his khandani bapoti. As if the country owes him something. Which is why he's neither a Pappu nor a Papi. He is both. And he's the worst thing that can happen to us. So if you are a well-wisher of India, you should only hope that this man doesn't become the PM of India. Because lag gayi hamari. अगर ये प्रधानमंत्री बन गया तो मनीष तिवारी को बना दो, चिदम्बरम को बना दो, इसको ना बनाना, बर्बाद कर देगा देश को. Because he cannot speak properly. He cannot even articulate a policy vision. He cannot understand a policy document. And no, you have not met enough policymakers in your life. I have. I know that there are many Congress and BJP leaders who are good at policy making, who understand policy making. This man doesn't. He can, talk in generalities, and that is not how we're supposed to have politicians in India. हमारे नसीब है कि कुछ अच्छे पॉलिटिशियन है, कांग्रेस, बीजेपी, थोड़ी और जगहों पे, जो देश को संभाल के चला रहे हैं. मर जाएगा हमारा देश अगर ये आदमी बन गया तो. Indira Gandhi understood policy making. Rajiv Gandhi bhi understood policy making. Jawaharlal Nehru also understood policy making. Rahul Gandhi understands nothing. Now I'll take your questions and I'll go ahead. पैसा ज्यादा दे रहा हूं, प्लीज केवल सवाल पूछना. राहुल गांधी says there is a need to be wealth inequality. There needs to be wealth inequality. There is wealth inequality, and The wealthier few has to share the wealth with the poor. Aren't we already doing this with so many slabs of income tax? Farmer don't even pay taxes. Well, Kaustubh, first of all, we have to have a serious movement in India where rich farmers, like people who are official farmers who have declared their income in lakhs of rupees, they have to pay taxes. There is no other way around that. As far as income distribution is concerned, India is always going to have a progressive taxation system, irrespective of the political party that comes to power, whether the Congress or the BJP. You can never expect any kind of policy change, whether the Congress or BJP comes. Suresh Swaminathan says, amazing to see how Indians still vote for him. Are we so dumb? I don't know. He's viewed as an angry young man. No, he is selling the politics of love. So he can't be an angry young man. So I think you've got that wrong. When will we realize the danger? I don't know when Indians will realize the danger. Listen, BJP has 1,000 flaws. And I'll be the first one to say that. Listen, if the Congress officially declares that we are keeping him away from arm's length, then maybe I can breathe easily. Till this man and his sister are in charge of Congress and the mother, no, I am not going to breathe easily. I have heard too many stories that I can't put it on record about this family. They are too dangerous. They are too dangerous. And I'm talking about stories from congressmen, not from BJP men. BJP can learn the desperation to win from Raga. BJP knows the desperation. Do you know how many years the BJP was in opposition? BJP knows losing better than anyone else. They just started winning now. Why does he do it every time he goes outside India? Because, listen, he's not smart enough to realize. But he's evil enough to realize what works for him. He's not smart enough to realize what harms India, but he's evil enough to realize what benefits him. Which is why Pappu and Papi, both, lethal combination. Raga has memorized only one speech about elephant. If the question is about mango tree, he will say an elephant is tied to a mango tree and go on. Pretty much. If you listen to these 3 speeches, I can guarantee you will come out of it. I used to do a speech analysis of Modi at one point of time, and I realized Modi also started getting repetitive in his speeches around 20 and 21. And believe me when I say this, Modi is also repetitive in his speeches now. But his speeches are aspirational repetitive. This man's speeches are Pappu repetitive. There is a difference. There is a difference between Modi's repetitive nature and this man's repetitive nature. ये आदमी खतरनाक है and repetitive है. With Congress system getting worse day by day, do we get to see a better constructive opposition in the next decade? I don't think so. I think the nature of Indian politics is as such that the opposition is incentivized to be pathetic. That is the nature of Indian politics. I truly believe that. Sometimes I think I shouldn't vote because no party really reflects the policies I want, and then Rahul Gandhi goes and pulls this bullshit. Well, why do you think most people ended up voting for BJP? They listen to Rahul Gandhi and they get shit scared. That ye aadmi aa gaya to kya hoga hamara? Okay, I'm Anmol Singh Khalsa. I'm 17, born and living in, I don't know, Chandigarh, I guess, where Sikhs are less than 1%, and I have never faced a problem. And after this, I will never vote for Rahul Gandhi. Opai, all the best. I don't understand this question. What is India going to do? Is there a limit for treason? I don't know what treason is really. I mean, Rahul Gandhi is just weird. I don't know about the treason, but I just think Rahul Gandhi is not treasonous. I think he's just stupid. And he's stupid enough to be used by other people. That is my problem. Seriously. That's my problem with Mr. Rahul Gandhi. What do you think about the left's claim that in this globalized world, it doesn't matter where we speaks? And Narendra Modi also said Boyd things about previous governments, so this is justified. Well, first of all, I think criticizing the government is not the issue. Lying is the issue. I have criticized Narendra Modi enough times too. It's not the case. There is a way. He lies. Rahul Gandhi openly lies. That's my problem. And the BJP lies, I'll call them out too. It's as simple as that. How's BJP gearing to adapt to no holds barred raga? I don't know. That's BJP's problem, man. I'm not their spokesperson. In 29th April or something, deepfake video of Amit Shah goes viral claiming that he will abolish constitution and reservations. Fearing of reservation going away is the major reason of reduction of SC/ST votes in UP. Yeah, that is one of the reasons. Do you think politicians should criticize India in foreign soil because Modi also did it? He called India a nation of scams. I think politicians should overall avoid it. And I actually had raised my issues with Narendra Modi also at that time. I'm consistent. But fine, you want to criticize it? Criticized on the basis of fact, not on the basis of lies. Modi did this in UPA too when scam after scam was being unleashed. Rahul Gandhi says RSS and BJP want women to stay inside when his government reduced labor force participation of women and the current government increased. So how does he say these things? And why don't people fact check him? Why do I have to? I think the Congress has become the world's first anarchist party, and I find it kind of funny for some reason. No, Congress is not the first anarchist party of India. The Aam Aadmi Party. The Aam Aadmi Party is the first anarchist party of India. I joined your podcast today when Rahul Gandhi's academic achievements were discussed. This reminded me of when Rahul Baba waded into BITS Goa and took 10 minutes on stage to build consensus on the difference between plants and humans. Okay, I don't know what this is, but best of luck to Rahul Gandhi. Right wing is anti-woman. This statement is rote learned by leftists in their preliminary classes. I understand that they keep saying right wing is anti-woman. I believe India does have an anti-woman problem. We have a misogynistic culture problem. But what is Rahul Gandhi talking about? His government promotes misogyny on steroids. That is Sharia. So Rahul Gandhi should shut the hell up. The BJP increased the abortion limit in its first term. I don't know if you guys know that. So what right-wing party in the Christian world does that? The BJP did that. I think Prakash Javadekar was the minister at that time. I don't remember. Let me fact check myself. I think it was Prakash Javadekar, the minister. I think it was. Yeah, legal abortion limit raised up to 24 weeks. This was in 2019. That it happened under the Modi government from 20 weeks. So Indian right wing, left wing is very different. India में सब लोग left wing है. BJP is also a left wing party. It is not a right wing party. I don't know why people keep assuming that BJP is not. राहुल गांधी को सुनकर वो याद आता है, सर अपनी गोदी खोलो, मैं आपकी गोदी में समा जाना चाहता हूँ. It's just crazy. Anyways, my final thoughts once again to conclude this. I've answered pretty much all your questions, whatever you guys were asking in the super chats. To the new members, Manav, Karthik, welcome to the Cārvāka podcast, and Karan Desai, welcome to the Cārvāka podcast, and thanks for joining the membership program. I just want to leave you once again. Listen, politicians lie all the time. I mean, I can count 100 occasions where Modi has lied also. 100 occasions. But there is a way of doing this thing, and the proof of the pudding is in the eating. It's the governance. It's the overall data. How I measure a government. Under BJP, riots are down. Under BJP, we have a more stable economy. Under BJP, life is better. You should read government reports, which Shamika Ravi releases all the time, whether it comes to distribution of food and pulses. There are a lot of good things that are happening. Yes, the BJP can be better. Any government can be better. But to make the assumption that India was better off under the Congress, show me the data where it was. Where was India better under the Congress? Where? Women labor force participation was less. Communal rights were more. LGBT rights were less. They are freer under them. And you can't say, oh, Rahul Gandhi was not the prime minister. What Rahul Gandhi was not the prime minister? He could have become the prime minister under Manmohan Singh's era. They were pretty much, you remember when he tore the document and Manmohan Singh had to take back the thing? That means he was running the Congress, even at that time. They want power without accountability, which is even worse. They tore the document out. The famous, I think, when did he tear the document out? It was 11 or 12, I think. Rahul Gandhi tore that document. I think it was 11 or 12. I don't remember the exact year, but it was very interesting. Oh, it was 2013. He tore the ordinance when he tore that on disqualification. I think it was 2013. So these are bullshit things that, oh, Rahul Gandhi has never been tested. अरे भाई एक स्टेट का चीफ मिनिस्टर बन के अपना रिकॉर्ड दिखाना पहले. नरेंद्र मोदी गुजरात का चीफ मिनिस्टर 3 टाइम था. उसका रिकॉर्ड देखा ना जनता ने. फिर अभी तीसरी बार प्रधानमंत्री बनाया. Why doesn't Rahul Gandhi become a chief minister of a state? Rahul Gandhi should go try his hand in Kerala, try his hand in Karnataka, try his hand in some Congress government. अरे हिमाचल में कर ले भाई. हिमाचल में कर ले. Govern na. He never does. He has opportunities to be a chief minister, right? He can. Never does. हमको दिखा ना अपना रिकॉर्ड एज अ लीडर दिखा. हमने देखा है तुम्हारा रिकॉर्ड एज एन एमपी इन अमेठी. क्या हाल किया है अमेठी का? क्या बना के रखा है? और फिर अमेठी हार गया तो द वन कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी वेयर ऑलमोस्ट 60% ऑफ द वोट्स आर मुस्लिम, वहां जाके लड़के जीता. क्रेडिट वापस आया, अमेठी जीता अभी इस बार. मगर भाई चीफ मिनिस्टर बन के अपना रिकॉर्ड दिखा देना राहुल गांधी. चीफ मिनिस्टर क्यों नहीं बना इतने टाइम से? चल ठीक है, प्रधानमंत्री नहीं बना. 2004 से 2024 तक 20 साल में मल्टीपल कांग्रेस की सरकारें थी. एक जगह तो मुख्यमंत्री बन जा. मुख्यमंत्री बन, ले अपने हाथ में और चला स्टेट और बता कि इतनी एंटाइटलमेंट कि मुख्यमंत्री क्यों बनूं, मैं तो सीधा प्रधानमंत्री बनूंगा. इतनी एंटाइटलमेंट. Narendra Damodar Das Modi was an ordinary karyakarta, busted his guts, went from pillar to post, became the chief minister, got re-elected again and again and again, then became the prime minister, got elected again and again and again. You have a track record. You can hate him, not vote for him. I don't care. Where is Rahul Gandhi's track record as a chief minister? Why can't people hold him accountable for any kind of governance record? Because they don't want accountability. They just want the malai. That's all it is. They want the malai without any accountability. Which is why I said Rahul Gandhi is a Pappu and a Papi. And India should be very, very careful. Anji K, welcome to the membership. That is the problem with the Congress. The BJP is a cadre-based party. There are only 2 cadre-based parties in India, to be very honest. One is the CPIM or the CPIM Marxist, जिसको बोलते हो आप, या CPI. वो लोग cadre-based है या बीजेपी है. एकदम फार लेफ्ट है या बीजेपी है. इस देश में 2 cadre-based parties है जो एक्चुअल cadre आइडियोलॉजिकली ड्रिवन रखती हैं. कांग्रेस का कार्डर कभी इतना हुआ नहीं है. ये हिस्ट्री है कांग्रेस की. मगर कांग्रेस में लोकल लीडर्स होते थे. कमलनाथ जो भी है मध्य प्रदेश में, दिग्विजय सिंह. पीपल डोंट नो दिग्विजय सिंह एंड हिज काउ प्रोटेक्शन बैटल्स, गौरक्षा के लिए. दिग्विजय सिंह की काफी हिस्ट्री है. चिदम्बरम अपने एरिया में करते हैं. डीके शिव कुमार जो अभी अमेरिका में घूम रहे हैं, वो कर्नाटका के एक बड़े नेता हैं. Obviously, then the other Siddaramaiah is a leader there. मगर ये लोग कभी ऊपर नहीं आ पाते. क्यों नहीं आ पाते? इनको ऊपर आने दो ना. इनको बनाओ प्रधानमंत्री. हमेशा गांधी फैमिली को एक कन्वीनियंट चाहिए. इसके लिए मनमोहन सिंह को उठा के ले आए ताकि वो प्लायबल है, उसको कंट्रोल करो. This is the fundamental problem of the Congress party. And if you defend them, you are part of the problem. You don't want to vote for the BJP, don't vote for the BJP, but don't defend Rahul Gandhi and his inanities. That's my problem. The BJP is the only hope we have in this mediocre society that is India. The BJP is full of shit, for the record. But that's our halat, that we have to pick about going about picking shit. I want to know once again, what is Rahul Gandhi's governance record? I know Narendra Modi's governance record. I know it. I know Modi as a chief minister and as a prime minister. I know many other congressmen as chief ministers and prime ministers. What is Rahul Gandhi? He is nothing. He is nobody. He does nothing. We'll end there. I'm actually scared of his few sensible answers, because then it might lead to people getting an idea that he is a viable option. Oh man, it's crazy. And you know, to go on calling BJP communal. If BJP is communal, why are there lesser riots under BJP? If BJP is fascist, why are there right now more abuses of 295A, 153A in states governed by Congress, even right now? You wish BJP was as fascistic as Congress is, because you clearly don't know anything. You're just a young moron who has never followed politics in India. That's what you are. Anyways, we'll end today's discussion over here. So once again, if you can, do join the Cārvāka podcast membership program. Once again, I want to thank all the people who joined the membership program in today's podcast. And always remember this. I will go on doing my thing. I have never hidden I vote for the BJP. I have never hidden I have sympathies to the RSS and the Hindutva ideology. At least I'm honest. Rahul Gandhi should say he supports Sharia law. And if he opposes Sharia law, he should clearly say he opposes Sharia law. Rahul Gandhi, I want Rahul Gandhi to come out and say Sharia law is an inferior ideology. He can't, because he's a moral relativist and he wants India to burn, and he wants 8 to 10 crore Muslim women to be subjugated. That's what he is. That's all it is. At least I don't have to live under those moral compulsions. If you want to support people like me, join my membership program. You can do it on YouTube. You can do it on Patreon. If you want to buy the Cārvāka podcast merchandise, you can go on kushalmehra.com, buy the Pulse Aa Gayi Pulse t-shirt and wear it and go in every Khalistani rally. If you can't do any of that, just like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a rating if you're an audio platform listener. I'll see you guys next time. Namaste. Take care. Bye-bye.